Streaming live. Streaming live. Streaming live, West Palm Beach, Florida.
All right, everybody. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us right here at the Action Palace at PBKC. Matt F. And with me is the earnestly speaking one, Ernest Christian.
Matthew, what's going on, buddy?
Not a lot. We're jumping right into the action here. It's a minor technical difficulty, but overcome.
We got Todd Need in the box.
Yeah.
What up, Todd? My boy.
You okay?
Yeah. Just fix my chair. That sounds good. Can't hear any action on there on the table, though. Got my boy Monty in seat 4 there today. Some of our local superstars here that play very frequent here. One of many.
All right. How about now?
What?
Trying to pick up the...
Oh, I mean on the table. You mean? No. I mean it's loud, but it gets too loud. I guess to your point. Maybe it's on that end, on top. Try this way. So.
It should be this. This should be the table talk, and then this is us.
Check. Well, it's only for us. I can't hear the table talk as much. I'm sure the people on the
Okay.
could hear it fine.
Well, hopefully they can.
Yeah. Because if Monty's on the table, there should be some fireworks, I'm sure. Verbal fireworks, especially. You see our bar poker, Royal 4 World Champion bar poker logo on the tables. We just had a massive event. We just passed bar poker championship event. This ended 2 days ago. As Rocco.
Yeah, that might help.
So Steve and Ralph both bet and call 4,000. Now we go heads up to the turn. Turn's a 7, so that helps Ralph. For now, he has 8s currently, along with a draw. Draw to the 6, and the turn river card's a 10 of hearts, so that will get a check mark for Ralph. As Steve leads out with was that 25,000? Oh no, 5,000, 7,000. Sorry. And he'll take that down. Stole that pot, actually.
All right, guys, we're going to upgrade your dealer.
So, man, give me an update on the Panthers. What's going on with you guys? Because I know my Rangers are struggling right now. They lost 8 of the last 10 games. What's going on with your boys?
Late night.
Late night? The West Coast trip?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Extra late night. 10:30 start. And overtime and a shootout. Panthers beat Seattle 2-1.
Mm-hmm. that sounded clear. Did you hear that?
You are. It's Christmas. I get it. It's Christmas.
Okay, just checking the sound quality because something's not adding up. But everybody can hear the table talk.
Mm-hmm.
Just fine. On their end. For us, not so much.
Yeah, which is fine, I guess. You know, I'd like to hear the table talk, but it's all good. Hey, we got Keymont here hanging out here in the studio. Well, how you doing, Keymont? Not hanging out in the studio, just hanging out eating food. Whatever the hell he's eating there. Is that a salad, Keymont? What is that? Salmon? Even better. Salmon and rice? And corn? I just had chicken, rice, and corn. I prefer a salmon. I prefer salmon. I'm a salmon guy. I love salmon. Best fish. That my.
Ooh, kings,
wait.
queens, ace, queen, queen, jack, threes, fours. Wow, everybody got
A
something.
lot going on there, buddy.
All right. Ugh.
So
For about 20K.
breaking news: the New York Giants are going to start Tommy DeVito this week against the Ravens.
I got better breaking news. The New York Giants are on the clock.
Thank God. Listen, man, I'm rooting against them right now. I've been rooting against them for weeks. I want that draft pick.
Ooh, and it's an all-in kings, queens. Monty needs to catch a one-outer.
Yes, yeah, pretty much.
One of the queens was dead. It was queen jack, and it was folded.
Yep. And no, that doesn't help him at all.
No.
Two-pair ace, turn card. Oh, no, that's not me
Nope.
either. And
Nope, no one-outer for Monty. But he
has chip still. But
he easily has Steve covered, so it's not the end for Monty.
Definitely hurts, though. Definitely hurts.
Yeah, it always stings to lose a hand like that. All right, some stats for everybody. This is our 1:30 buy-in Wednesday Deep Stack Tournament. We had a total of 65 entrants today, and we are down to 33. Wow, that was a heck of a jump. I guess we're not down to 33. Perhaps they had difficulty updating it. But that information is from 15 minutes ago. And there's the hand count. So we're at 500,000, 1,000. Monty with king 10. He made it 3.5, and Charlie decides, here's the spot. This is a good spot. Ace 3 suited, all in for a single red chip, 5K. Can't see Monty folding king 10 for 1,500. Pair of eights, no help to either player. Monty needs a 10, and nope, Monty, his second attempt at an elimination, does nothing. That's okay. Monty's like, I went to knock 2 people out, didn't work, but, you know, I still got my soup.
Yep.
And life is good. Is that you beeping?
Nope.
Knock it off.
Nope. It's that going there. I've been doing it all day. We're doing the football show earlier today. Was doing the same thing.
So you were here and it was doing it, and you're here and it's doing it. So, yeah, it's you.
It's my fault.
Knock it off.
Yeah. Beep.
Trying to do a show here. What are you, the Roadrunner?
Apparently.
All right, John moving all in with his ace-10. Does Monty go for another elimination? Nope, he's going to let the jack-10
Yep.
go. He's like, not going to try it again.
Let's just hang on that a little
Besides,
bit.
I still got some soup left, so
No
there's
soup.
that.
But you know what, Matt? No soup for you.
No soup for me. I actually ate before I came in for once, trying to save some money.
Some money.
Holidays coming up.
Yeah, we got to finish our shopping. Actually, we started already.
I do have to finish my shopping.
We typically get our shopping done pretty early, though. We last year it was the best we did. I think we finished our shopping like the beginning of December. We were done like 3 weeks before Christmas last year. This year a little slower on the uptick, but we'll get it done in the next couple of days. We have an idea what they want. They want V-Bucks. That's all they want. If you know V-Bucks, it's for Fortnite. Well, so their gift's gonna be pretty easy this year to accomplish.
You darn kids in your Fortnite.
Hey, look, I'm lucky that way because my kids are very active though. Because even though they do play video games, they also love being outside. So they play a healthy amount of video games and also a healthy amount of time outside playing soccer and football and swimming and all that stuff when the weather is obviously permitting to do so. So I'm lucky in that way. They have a nice little balance there.
What the flip is a healthy amount of video games?
Well, what I'm saying, like they play, but
I'm
they're
just saying.
not obsessed. Like my oldest son is like ADHD, so it actually works for him in that way. So he don't get obsessed with it. He'll get bored real quickly.
Ooh, two pair for Ralph.
2 pair.
Oh.
To the window. To elimination.
Ralph has eliminated Charlie.
That's all she wrote.
Yeah, I kind of spoiled myself this Christmas.
Nice. Like my wife and I, we don't buy each other gifts anymore. We just, if we want something, we buy it ourselves. We've established now that the holiday is about the kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I want a gift,
I have no idea what I got my daughter, but apparently I bought her a lot of stuff. Because Nadine just bought it all, and then she handed me a bill, and I'm like,
right.
What is this?
Yeah,
I said my brother and I would get an 8-bit NES game to share as a co-present when I was a kid. I said, this kid's getting hundreds of dollars spent.
It's definitely different times, man, because, I mean, like, we have a budget, and I always say, this is the budget. I tell the kids, give me a list, we'll have a budget, and we'll prioritize according to the budget. This year should be easy, though, because all they want is V-Bucks. So, my son initially wanted a hardboard, but now he's, like, against it. He said, use the money that goes to hardboard, use it for V-Bucks. Like, okay.
John with 4s. All of it.
All in? Good John.
Yeah, but
44.
King Queen. It looks tasty, but
it does.
Not to put your tournament at risk, because John has Steve covered. It doesn't look that tasty. It's not even suited. Yeah, so he's like, you know what? I was just kidding, and it was only 4K. Just take my 4K, bro. It's not that deep. So I don't know if I told you I'm getting the replica, of course, because I'm not rich. Florida Panthers Stanley Cup championship ring with my own name and number engraved.
Nice.
Yeah, not the real one, because the real one costs about 60 grand.
Yeah.
Because all the jewels are real, all the diamonds, rubies, emeralds, 24 karat gold.
Right.
Throughout. No, I'm getting the gold-plated silver and the cubit zirconian stones.
Right.
It's still going to look just like, I mean, you need one of those, like, those one-eye things that the jewelers wear. You'd need one of those to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Or the receipt. Because it didn't cost 60 grand. Five players now, and not a lot to write home about, especially after that flop. Some crazy how that flop managed to miss everybody.
Yep.
Ace, King, 4. Tom, even though he has such a low percentage, he's got a gutter for a straight. Turn card. Graphics can't see it, but I can. Looks like an 8 of hearts there. Somehow still not helping anybody. First person to bet wins. And it looks like that's Tom. Tom bet his gutter and takes the pot down. Normally it doesn't happen that way. But I'm going to have to buy a nice little staycation for the wife.
Staycation?
Well, like it's going on vacation, but we're not going far. We're probably just gonna go up to Orlando.
Okay. Yeah, I told the wife too. Also, I wanted something like that like soon. Let's get it has to be a weekend, just like a couple of days, and go up to
Right.
like even if it's Disney, go up to the resorts and just hang out there. You know what I mean?
Right. We're probably gonna do the same because we got the Universal passes. But
Yeah, we have the Disney passes.
well, I kind of got everything except my passport for my road trip this year, and wow. Nadine is not pleased with me, so she's like, "You're definitely taking me to Orlando if I let you go on this hockey road trip."
Is the kid going? Well, okay.
No, for us, no. We're just gonna go up to Orlando.
And then it'll be with the family, obviously.
Right, but I'm paying for it. I'm paying for the trip now because it's not till April because it's gonna be way more expensive. Tom with the aces. That's where that big raise. Aces and fours. Oh, all in. No, he went all in, and he's going to get demolished. Finish him. We got spades from John, queen, jack. Rocco has a set.
So Tom needs an ace. John needs any spade.
Any spade. Right.
Far from over right now. Far from over. There's a queen.
Ooh, there's a
two pair.
queen and a spade.
Spade!
He didn't.
No, but
He didn't need the two pair because he was up against a set, so he got the card he really needed on the river.
double knockout.
Double kill. Yeah, I haven't played much Fortnite, but they say that.
Yep, that's correct.
Fortnite. No, but the most expensive part of this trip, getting a frickin' passport. I looked it up. How much money it's going to cost? Because I've never had one. It's cheaper to get one renewed, but
how much are passports these days?
160.
Yeah, that's
No, I mean 130. 130.
Well, yeah. And that's if you don't do the expediting it. If you do
Right.
Expediting, it's
Yeah, like I said,
more.
the trip's not till April, but I'm gonna let a few checks roll in
Yeah.
before I pay for the passport.
And where are you going?
Toronto.
Oh yeah, for hockey, right?
Yeah, they used to let you before the pandemic. If you had like an enhanced driver's license and you weren't going for more than 72 hours, they let you
Yeah.
just come, and all you needed was the license. But since the pandemic, they don't do that no more. And the real kicker was the Canadian government would let you come with just the enhanced license. They still do. The American government won't let me back without the passport. I'm like, wait, how does that work? You'd think it'd be the other way around. They wouldn't let me into
Exactly, yeah.
Canada, but they'll let me into Canada, but they won't let me come back.
All right.
So I have to get the passport.
something fishy there, to be honest with you.
I just think they want their money.
That seems about right.
All right, Monty's going for it. He's going for it with the answer. 42 is the answer.
Yeah,
So he thought. But he needs another 4 or another. Actually, no, he was. Those were chop outs. The best he could have done was a chop. And Monty, it started off kind of conservative with the play, but
Yeah.
now they're just dropping. So, well, we know the stream's working, so join in the chat. We love audience participation
Absolutely.
on this show.
Participate, please.
Don't play a hate. Participate. Getting viewers from all over. Hey, if anybody's from the greater Toronto area, recommend some restaurants.
I've been in Toronto so long.
Well, I haven't been at all, so. Not that I'm going to plug an airline, but airline I never heard of, and I get to fly out of here right across the street from the Action Palace. And I didn't know this. I didn't know you could go anywhere straight from PBI.
Yep.
Because every time I've flown out of here, I'm changing planes in Atlanta or Charlotte to go where I'm actually going.
I like to do some more traveling, just different stadiums, arenas, and stuff like that. That's one big goal of mine.
Yeah, and I'm a bigger guy. All my friends, the biggest tip I've gotten so far is suck it in. Because it's very cramped in
Yeah.
Toronto
Is it really?
at that arena.
That's interesting, actually.
Yeah, I get it. Because I've sat upstairs and down in a lot of NHL arenas, and the lower bowl typically has bigger seats, wider seats, more comfy. And then they just pack them in the nosebleeds. Let's see. It's that 8. Those graphics aren't quite accurate, but almost. There it is. Wasn't picking up that 8 of clubs so fast. But we do have it all in here from Steve. Action up to Steve. That's not confusing at all. Steve and Steve. And it's a tray against King 6 of clubs. No, 5-4 clubs. But Ralph did not catch another 5 or a 4. And he needed a 5 and a 5 only against that 2 pair.
Yeah.
That one of the Steves had.
Yeah.
Only we get to hear it twice.
Yep.
Bo knows how to raise with ace-10 suited. Showing my age with that joke.
Yep. Same ballpark.
Kids,
you and I.
kids today, they don't know Bo knows.
Yeah. Crazy commercials too. Love those commercials. Here's your current chip count right now. Steven to lead at 143, Bo at 107.
Steve is in first and fifth place.
Yeah,
That's really
imagine
impressive.
that. How's that work out?
Yeah, that's teach me that kung fu someday.
John, of course, at 90K. Kyle, 81K. And then Tom, Rich, and Mike round out the bottom 3.
Kyle instantly throwing away the Kennel Club hand. How very dare you, sir? Bo, a snowman, limping with it though. It's a choice. John's like, enough of these limping shenanigans. See, this is why I don't limp with 8s in that position, because somebody might, like John, might do something like that.
Yeah.
Fold it back around to Bo. He liked those 8s for 15 hunch. Does he like them for 91 hunch? Nope. And that, kids, is why you don't limp in that spot with middle pocket pair.
Exactly.
All right, don't blink. You might miss some action. I keep looking at the player count, and boy, howdy, is it dwindling.
Yeah. Versus hand number 15, number 1. It's building pretty quick, too, also.
Yeah, a lot of short stacks on this table when we started.
Yep.
All right, top pair for Kyle, but is not so good. Rich has a flush draw. Only 2,500 to play, so that's a play that draw. And here's Steve with a deuce. Turn card, a king o' clubs, no help to anyone. Check, check. A river card, an ace, no help. So Kyle with a pair of sevens. And they all check. They all just let him have it. Nobody tried to represent anything. I feel like the first person to bet wins that one. As soon as that king showed up. All right, over to Bo. Come along for Queen 10. Folds around to the blinds, and well, Kyle has the Kennel Club hand. Oh my, as Mr. Sulu might say. Open-ended straight for Kyle. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's not right.
75.
So it's a straight for Bo. There we go. Bo hits his straight. Kyle did not. Kyle does have a 9, and that's what's going to get him in trouble. He's going to call the value bet.
I got a 10. Oh, you got the 10. Yeah, you're right. I was hoping for the 10. Good hand.
Bo needed a queen or a 7, but he did not get it. No, I'm sorry. Kyle needed the queen or the 7, not Bo.
Come on, Bo. You can't blame the dude. I got to. He's only passing them out. You blame him.
The beep on the back end.
Telling you. It's annoying as hell.
This has got to be the most delicate setup in the history of streaming setups, and you're kicking the table?
I didn't kick the table.
Man.
I tried to avoid it, and I ended up kicking it more.
If it goes down, I'm blaming you.
So Steve raises a 6K with queens. Rich is going to fold.
The ladies.
J6. Yep. J9 for Mike. Going to fold there as well, too. So
No action.
no action. That's whatever. Nothing.
I mean, usually you want to get some action with the ladies, and I'll just stop right there.
Well, I would think so.
Much more better. Just in case anybody forgot who the Stanley Cup champions are.
Who are they?
Go Panthers.
Who are they? Champions.
We are the
I'm
champions,
joking.
my friend. And we will keep on fighting to the end.
Don't show him nothing, John. Oh, I don't even know if he hears us. Shit. I yelled his name 4 times earlier, and he didn't. He looked over like. Don't show them, but show you. I don't think he really hears us.
I'm gonna look and see what he got. Don't worry. I'm gonna let you know, Tom. I'm gonna take you to you.
You got people monitoring the feed.
And then tonight, when you're sleeping, he's coming by.
Yeah.
Knocking your door.
Get his chips back.
Scared the bejeebers out of you.
All right, hand 19. John, let's go at 9-8. King Queen suited for Tom. King Queen offsuit for one of the Steves. That'll be fun. Folding back around. Whoa, what is this? 10s on the button? Saith what? So Tom's like, what kind of shenanigans are these? He's not pleased with that shove. And he has the better king queen because at least he's suited.
Someone's calling this, and he's gonna call that.
Steve, one of them is gonna call it with the king queen, and Tom's like, oh geez. And he had suited too, so. Well, no diamonds, so Tom can feel a little better about himself. The run out, no help. 10s dominate. So Mike's going to double up off of Steve there. Tom can give himself a little pat on the back for that fold. Because I'd have been mad if I was Tom and I saw that. And then no diamonds on the flop. I'd be like, you know what, never mind, I'm good. I made a shrewd poker move.
How you doing in there with that hand? He might hear it.
I have 2 overs.
I didn't figure anything. I figured you had ace king or ace queen.
Here's your aggressive frequency. Although right now, it's still early in this stream. Those numbers aren't really impactful right now.
Rich is like, finally, I get a hand.
Hand number 20, by the way.
Ace king, and he makes it 4K to go. But will he get any action? John decides to defend his big blind with an ace-7 offsuit. To the flop we go. And a king for Rich. Big old trouble for John. He needs runners. Running straight cards, running 7s, and he decides, not much of a runner, so I'll just fold. I can relate. Used to run 8 to 10 miles a day for years and years, and I'm like, you know what? I'm done.
You miss it?
No.
Not at all?
The soreness, the aching, the having to ice my shins and my knees after every workout. God, no. Getting up at 5:30 in the morning to get my miles in before school.
I do enjoy walking though. In the mornings.
I keep hearing about this runner's high. I'm like, maybe I was doing it wrong because when I ran competitively,
I
never got that.
I love biking though. Biking is fun. You enjoy biking?
Not really.
Got back into it recently. Harder than I thought though.
I wouldn't
Maybe-
call
maybe
what I
it's my
did as a
age.
kid biking.
What would you
You know,
call
like every '80s movie, it's a bunch of boys on the bikes going everywhere. I'm like, yeah,
it? We're riding a bike. We're not
right. But I
biking.
said we're not right, exactly.
Right, it's a big difference.
We're
yeah.
like, let's meet up at the arcade or something.
Yeah.
It's like
What?
5 miles away and nobody could drive, so we all rode our bikes.
we weren't thinking about it. Like, we were getting exercise, but we weren't didn't know.
Right. Okay, we can't see Steve's cards, so this should make for an interesting hand. Kyle with Queen 10 and Tom with 9-8, and there's a 9 for Tom.
3,000.
And he's going to bet it. Like I said, we cannot see Steve's cards, so but he calls, but thinking he's probably got an ace, possibly clubs. Now there's clubs and hearts out there, but Tom's going to go with the continuation bet. Steve calls without much hesitation, so I got to think he's got that ace. Well, now we're really going to find out. Ace of hearts, so there's a flush draw, 2 aces out there, and Tom fires again, and insta-muck from Steve, so yes, he didn't have that ace after all.
So you want me to wait for him?
All right, slight delay in the graphics so we can get our new players in. I do not, well, let me check. Nope, this isn't a consolidation down to 20.
So 20 players left now.
Well, no, I mean, it's not a consolidation down to 2 tables because we have too many players for that, and that's 15 minutes from now, so. Can't imagine we're just now getting down to 3. Because the number's way too high for that. Palm Tree Trading Company on YouTube is saying, is anyone chewing on an unlit cigar downstairs? Interesting question.
We're not downstairs though, so
Right. I don't know the answer to that.
I'm gonna say no, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't deal on Wednesdays unless we're tragically shorthanded and they call up the reserves.
Call it back up and call the righty.
Yeah, more of a weekend guy. Wow, John's 3 of clubs.
You do Sundays too?
Is a nut flush.
You do Sundays too?
Yeah, I work on Sundays. I killed it last Sunday. It was like a freaking dream. I haven't had a Sunday like last Sunday since that golden era when we first got No Limit.
Yeah.
It was that kind of Sunday. High hands were just falling from my fingertips.
Yep.
Hitting the right people, too. Sandy was pushing me. She was all jealous. I'm like, aw, I got to be you for one day. Said, you can let me have it for one day, all right? Although I have seen players do that, chewing on an unlit cigar. I'm not sure why they do it, but, I mean, I don't ask questions about it.
It's probably a nervous tick.
All right. I mean, it's probably better for your lungs, right? If it's unlit.
I tore my rotator. Yeah, here went numb. I tore the rotator, and it went like numb in your like here. Yeah, yeah, that's your rotator.
I didn't want to say anything on this on the stream, Palm Tree Trading Company, but if I had to venture a guess, that's who the party was. Yeah, that would have been my guess.
All right, flop to the flop. Flop to the flop. 8, 9, jack.
Kyle's got an open-ended straight. Steve's got top pair. Bo's also got a gutter. If he can get a, if he can somehow get a 10 out of this, he'd have a straight as well. Wouldn't be any good though. Alan would have the higher straight. But it looks like Steve threw out 6K on the top pair. Folds around to Bo. And he don't want to play. Yeah, like I said, late hockey night. That's one thing I miss about 90s hockey.
Yeah.
Even though the Panthers never won.
So it's funny, like
But you only had one West Coast road trip. That's it.
for the year.
But
yeah.
now there's so many teams in the league. Now there's 2, and I hate that.
To your point, as a Heat fan, especially too, like before my schedule is what it is now, I didn't mind watching late night games because I was awake anyway.
Right. Well,
But
now I have
now-
a kid. I got to get up at
now-
7:30,
right,
work or not,
exactly.
and get her ready for school.
I got kids. I got kids wake up 7 o'clock in the morning for school. I also work daytime on top of that.
Yeah.
So these West Coast games sometimes are a challenge. Like I'll stay awake,
Yeah.
but it'll be a challenge. Sometimes I pray for blowout. Either way.
Wouldn't be so bad. The schedule my wife used to have at her old job, she would take the kid to school.
Right.
Because I worked nights back then. I worked nights up until the pandemic
Right.
here at PBKC. And so, yeah, the West Coast road trips didn't bother me because,
Right.
well, unless I was working that night.
And you're wrong. I love working daytime. I love daytime. But the West Coast trips are a bit.
They're brutal.
Yeah.
This is the first one. We're going on another one next
They've
month.
done a better job than the NBA. The NBA, I've noticed they move a lot of these games to 10 o'clock and 10:30, so that 30 minutes actually helps. So instead of the game ending at 1:30 in the morning, it ends like 12:30.
Yeah, the NHL doesn't do that. It's up to the individual teams if they want 7 or 7:30 local time.
Right. You see, like most games still 10:30, but you see a few like 10 o'clock ones all of a sudden enter the fray.
65.
Played golf with these guys one time up in Stewart. Both were in the days.
One of the weirdest things for me was when I started going to California a lot last 10 years, or longer than that anyway. Watching football at 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning.
6:30. If there's a Europe game.
Uh-huh.
That's an early start, man.
Pitcher was twice the size of the other guy. And the other guy was made. The pitcher was trying to get in. Yeah. He wasn't in the big jet, triple A or whatever. So I asked him, I retired as a firefighter. So I asked him, we're in the putting green. I said, what's your plan B? Good luck, Bob. Plan B, man. You gotta have plan B. I said, if you don't make the bigs, which is 100%.
Bo knows
Something.
how to move. Yeah, I thought it odd they gave us an ninth player when we had less than full. Yeah, because I'm like, if they do that, then I'm like, they're just going to have to take somebody later until, you know. Because the way the player number is going, I'm like, that can't be right. Because I know we're not consolidating. How are we getting a?
Not yet, anyway. No.
How are we getting a ninth player?
I played against him. Played for the Marlins for a while.
But that's not to say Bo won't be back. You might see him again in as little as 15 minutes. That's one of my pet peeves
That's why I pitched
from the
against
players.
him.
Well, when they do it without telling you.
Baseball. No, they still
Because Rich just took that blue chip for change.
all the time. I played in there for years.
And then the dealer looked confused. He's like, oh, I'm supposed to get 500 back. I'm like, well, don't touch it. What I'm trying to deal.
They play here at Santa Lucia.
Or at least tell the dealer if you're going to do that. Like, hey, I'm in for 4,500. I need this blue chip. Because when the players do that, they're trying to help, you know, and they're trying to make it easier. But when they just do it, and then you look for the right chips for the change, and the math ain't mathin',
exactly.
it doesn't help. Because now I have to backtrack and find out what happened.
Fastest I seen live was 90.
So just a heads up to the viewing audience, if you want to help the dealer out by doing those things, just give them a little heads up.
Around 90, 91. But
You just hear the seams coming.
you can hear that. I played in a USSSA tournament in Tennessee, and it was 18 under, and the kid was 17, and he threw 98.
Raised 7,000.
He was 6'8", 260 pounds, and he just stupid. The noise is unforgettable.
You want to hear that throw.
So I hit against Hunter Jones, the lefty that played for the Marlins. First pitch fastball, I hit it out foul, and then I saw what a real slider looked like. Oh my god! It looked same exact spot, and it just
But if you don't
ground
hear
out,
it,
ground out, ground out.
that means it hit you and you're out cold.
Yeah. I got hit by 95, and that is you don't feel it at first. That's why these guys just get up and run, and all of a sudden, like an hour later, like man,
Depends on where it hits you, too.
I hit in the lower back.
Luckily, I got hit by a golf ball one time. Golf ball. Right under the ribs.
4,000.
And it was a knock for 2 months. Yeah. I hit a guy right between the eyes. That's gonna kill him. I mean, that's gotta.
Raised.
When I was pitching once, I had a guy turn
11.
into a ball, and they hit him in the cheek.
Huh, you don't say, John.
Just
3 bets with Doyle.
Hey, man.
Well,
he feels good.
not suited Doyle, not quite Doyle, because 10 deuce is
Right.
offsuit, but
Call 11.
still, though, gutsy move, 10 deuce, and 3 betting with it.
broke the orbital.
The instant it hit, I was looking at him, and he stood there and just fell over.
That's actually not a bad flop,
No.
because now he just needs a high card, not that high. Okay, they're basically chopping. John is behind. All those outs you see are all chop outs.
Yep.
Or he could just bet it and win it all. He put out the big bet, representing a big hand, so when he bet big there, his opponent just says, oh, well, I only got this 10-9, so there you go, you can have it.
I had a guy wave us up on the par 3 that was blowing about 40 miles an hour.
If the Brooklyn B-Man was here, he says he told the best story.
About 180 yards, and I had a 3-iron. I hit it out to the right, and he's standing in the back of the game. I lost it. So
Wow, a couple of 7 deuces to start. Alan and Rich, both with 7 deuce. Yeah, getting 7 deuce under the gun, it's always annoying to get it, but you're like, when it happens to me, I'm like, well, at least I didn't have to pay for it. I just hope I don't get it next hand when I'm the big blind.
We got 3 calls right now. Check to the flop. 4 players in.
Interesting.
Who was the coach?
Tom with the worst hand. But he's actually got, he's got the smallest pair, and he's got a gut shot.
The Manatees?
And nobody raised. It only cost him 1 blue chip to see this flop out of the small blind, so. But it's going to cost him a bit more, 5K. I was about to say Tom needs an 8, 4, or 7, and he gets the 8. So So he's got 2 pair now. Now Steve is behind. Steve has a 6. He's going to need the board to pair. Oh, not the board to pair. I'm sorry, I misspoke. He needs a 7 for a straight, and he needs to catch another 6 or his ace. 5K and another call to the river we go, and that is a 3. No help. So small blind special with his 2 pair. Tom's going to... He was only in for a small blind. Limps. And gets a decent-sized pot out of an 8-4. Ernest, why can't that happen to me when I have 8-4? That never happens to me when I have 8-4.
It's hit or miss, brother.
Ever.
It's hit or miss.
Well, it could be that I never played. I see 8-4.
Stay away.
I'm like, okay, now you can have that.
I've thought about it, but still, I can't. My shoulder. How old are you? 37. I'll be 38 in a couple days.
All right, Kyle, who had 7 deuce last time, gets the worst starting hand. Now has the best starting hand.
See how that works out. By the way, the Elvis show this weekend, the Christopher Elvis shows sold out.
Well, we don't have Chris here as to come on the stream, but if we did, I'm sure he'd say, "Thank you, thank you very much." Uh-huh.
Elvis Presley.
Not sure how good my Elvis impression is, but
Pretty good. Pretty good.
when
I enjoyed it.
when I did the surprise vow renewal in Vegas and we went to the Elvis Chapel, the Elvis, he's asking the vows and he's like, do you promise to, all that?
Yeah.
I furrowed my lip up and I went, uh-huh. And the guy said, in all my years of doing this, that is the most outstanding answer I've ever heard. And I said, well, thank you very much. Seriously doubting the first guy to do that. So I suspect it's a first-way tie between everybody else who said that for the most outstanding answer.
I remember him. He used to play ball here, right? All right. Yeah.
So another elimination.
We played. Did you ever play in the Tigres around? I played around. I played against them.
Ace-King could not defeat the aces.
I think we were in the Bums when we were really good, and we were playing in the championship game. And they had 3 guys. I mean, all year round, never were around, and 2 of them threw. One of them threw 95. Like they had a guy.
Desmond Castro, hashtag Vegas local.
And we only lost 1-0.
Vegas used to be my favorite vacation destination. And then the Panthers lost to the Golden Knights, and I was like, boo, boo. But then we won the next year, so I'm like, okay, Vegas and I are cool again. Now that I don't have the Panther season tickets anymore, I might go back to Vegas and play in the dealer event again. We'll see how it goes. Rich is all in with them jacks.
Yep.
This is what I thought happened to me the last time I shoved with jacks. I said, ace king? And the guy said, you wish, and he turned over aces. I'm like, dang, I do wish. At least it would have been a race.
Absolutely.
But Alan actually has ace king. Ooh, picks up more outs. Aces, kings, and deuces now. And a king on the turn. Oh. And Rich, he bet it all on the jacks, but unfortunately, Alan caught his king.
Oh my God! I want to go. I want to have fun. I want to.
Dun 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 dun.
Like softball, because there's a lot of softball teams. So they have baseball.
We had teams out there. I pitched against Rick Ankill. He when he was in rehab.
Says safe travels getting back here. Well,
In our league,
I can only really afford to do one hockey road trip a year.
because he's on suspension, but he came and watched me.
But with my work schedule and everything,
He was out there.
we always play the nights on a weekend, and I can never. And Vegas is never on the list. And this year I'm going to Toronto, but maybe next year we'll see what the schedule's like when it comes out. Maybe I can do a Vegas trip.
Got actually drafted out of our thing and went to independent ball, and there's
Can you throw out 4,000 for me?
It's a
Dead
Venezuela.
small.
Yeah.
Venezuela for years.
Yeah, we had a guy that was a professional in Germany.
Yeah.
And he would come out and pitch for us.
Team, but
What's it? I was just talking to him the other day, too.
All right, trying to balance the tables. I don't think we're down to 18 quite yet.
almost there. All right.
Yeah,
Close to the bubble.
because that's when we'll fill up the table again. All right, folded all the way around to Allen with the Kennel Club hand. K9. Up against a big blind of 3 deuce. Wow. That's a lot of outs for Kyle. Big blind special. He's got 3 deuce offsuit. But he's got the only heart on the table. Allen's going to continue bet. And Kyle's not going to chase that 3 high flush. Probably a very prudent move.
I don't even know if I had a heart. I didn't even look.
I'm at dead button. I meant to say dead button. That's what I'm at.
I know you were waiting.
I'm like dead button. Yeah, nobody say that.
I looked back. I
They knew what I meant. They knew what I meant.
I knew what you meant. I heard
knew
what
what I
you
meant.
said.
if they just had
That's why I had my fingers on. I was waiting for him to say it again.
Oh, dead button. Dead button. They knew what I meant.
no, we didn't. Don't lie.
He said it out loud. I get to take my chips back, right?
Oh yeah. If you win, you gotta give the chips back.
If I lose, I get them back, right?
Look at that thing again.
2,000. Pitch.
Oh, you pitched? Did you have the goods?
We're here. None of us had to get.
86, 87. Not getting anywhere.
Did you ever? He used to work here too. Did you ever with Hibbs? Stephen Hibbs? He's about my size.
I know, Steve.
Huh? Yeah.
Call.
That kid had all the talent in the world.
He was his own.
Flap to the flop with that.
Yes.
I talked with him at depth.
He had one of the heaviest fastballs ever. It was one of them ridiculous. And he
Check.
no, he just
His night before the big break was not a good night, I guess.
yeah.
4,000.
4,000
Lines are up next hand.
I'd say it was just like me. We had
Yeah, kind of squirrely over there. He's not gotten a few knockouts, starting to accumulate chips.
Yeah. John?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a good player. I've known him a long time.
No, I haven't.
Very good player.
No, I was playing. I played until about 2018, 19, before I went up to North Carolina for a few years. They had a league up there that was stupid.
5,000.
So there's a lot of like AA, single A, independent teams up there.
We got the banana league too.
Yeah, and when they would,
Looks like a couple of kings out there, a 10, an 8, and a 5.
it's like there's whatever division it was called up there. Nobody.
So JD joining the game. You should enjoy that, huh, Tark?
JD.
But they're literally like straight out of.
JD takes that one out with 3 of a kind kings.
3,000. Oh, you was big. All right, you take that. Who threw?
I did.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought you were.
So my friend, he just signed 2 years ago with the Giants, and he was with the Mets, and he wound up getting Tommy John surgery, and he screwed up the surgery. And they're supposed to do 2 parts of it. They did 1 part there, so he went back and had the 2nd part done. He goes out opening day to start pitching for the Giants. He goes, can't feel, he's left-handed, can't feel my fingers. Goes in, has something in his collar that when he pitches, locks up the nerve or something. So he goes to rehab for another year. Just through the rehab, he's getting ready to go play.
He goes back and puts it in box. Thanks much. That helps.
Yep.
26. He's 26. Well, he's signed with the San Francisco.
Because people that sit in that seat, it is a bit awkward because we don't use seat 6 for the card reader,
Yeah.
and seat 5 is right between the 2 of them. And most players are right-handed, so they tend to put him in the 6th box, and then we have to go down there and remind him, no, it's it's the one on your left.
Like JD, he still hits so many balls so far.
He's still playing. But he's healthy though. His knees are probably
His knees
still
are
shot.
bad. He can't run. Yeah, he can't run.
I guarantee if I went out and I hit real good. I ended up not pitching anymore, and I was playing first or third.
Small blind.
Yeah, so I'm glad you let me know that because I was looking over at the promo sheet, and I was about to mention the Merry Christmas Baby show. which is, I believe, Saturday. But they're Jim Carrey once said they're out. They're sold out. That means there's no more.
75.
Is the bum's still around, right? Yeah, Dave runs it.
So Tom with the hockey sticks.
JB on his own team?
No,
JD has a 7 though, so that's unfortunate for Tom.
Yeah. I live
Unless everybody folds, which they do. So it ended up not hurting so bad.
on Saturdays because my son plays football.
right, okay.
I tried to get him in the baseball. Nope.
Is he your size?
No.
He's bigger.
Yeah, no, the one that scares me is the daughter. She's already above his shoulders, and she's 4 years younger.
Just tell him how Soto just signed for 700.
That's stupid. He's not going to be that good over there. He's going to make all that money, and it's.
It's going to motivate a bunch of kids, right?
Well, I'll tell you this much: he's either going to be completely awesome over there, like Otani, or he's going to completely dud
It's
out.
just ridiculous.
He's a freaking nature.
Him and Travis Hunter, you know what I'm saying? Those are the kind of guys that can do both ways and all that stuff.
Tell me how many people can throw over 100 and also hit, what is it, 50 home runs, or was it, what did he get up to?
Like,
Oh, yeah.
basically 50-50 club. 50
Yeah.
stolen bases, 50 home runs. Rays 7. 55, 75.
Yeah, he's unreal.
When that blew in the stands,
He's yours, he's probably like 20, 21, 22. Japanese kid.
I don't know. John's taking a really long time to think about this move. It's 4.5
He was over there.
K to call with 5-4 off suit. No, I mean, because I've seen him play some questionable hands in the big blind. It's like he wants to defend that blind on principle, even when his hand is really bad. And it turns out his hand wasn't so bad after all, but he did fold it. He's got a gutter with that 5-4. And now a double gutter. He really doesn't want to see a deuce or a 6 on this river. And there's a 6. So Kyle with his ace. I mean, look at him. He's looking at that. He's looking at that board like, dang nabbit, I would have had that straight.
He's blaming you for that.
He's blaming me.
Yeah.
Well, he technically folded it 15 minutes ago.
True.
He didn't fold it before I said it. But that's okay. If he had called, the flop would have been like queen, queen, jack. You didn't know that? Cards are magic. Garbage only turns to gold when you fold.
This is true.
So we got Todd back in the box. Meow.
It's crazy as this team. I think Judge is going to be a lot better this year with hitting.
So here's another
They'll pitch to one.
illustration of you said that my hatred of
It can be.
former NFL. How many Super Bowls did he get? Quarterback Tom Brady, most with New England, and then a couple with Tampa.
One in Tampa.
I was kind of hanging out in a chat with other hockey fans as we're watching the games, and they're going late. And one of the themes of the night was we would make fun of Boston every time they gave up a goal, and they gave up 8 of them last night. They lost 8-1 to Winnipeg last night. So, and we're all Panther fans. We're like, at some point, do you start to feel bad for him? And I said, because of Tom frickin' Brady, I will never feel sorry for any Boston team ever. I hope Winnipeg runs it up to 10-1. So I'm like, maybe I hate on him a little too much.
I bowled with Larry Walker for a few years.
All right, Joe and Tom with the open-ended, sort of open-ended, straight draws.
There's certainly
Yeah, Joe did not want to see a 10 on that river, so.
Towards Wellington. What's that at the end of Belvedere, whatever that's called?
That's my buddy's friends. My buddy's wife is friends with his wife.
He's a really cool person.
I ended up with
I mean, I know Brady doesn't have much to do with
concert.
the Boston Bruins' fortunes.
course.
But they got the NBA champs. So what do they need sympathy for? They're good. Don't feel bad for Boston, everybody.
Fun. They got a lot of titles last like 20 some odd years.
Right.
6 Super Bowls, I think a Stanley Cup in there.
Yeah.
2 NBA titles in there.
A couple of World Series too. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, 4 World Series.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, they're due for some butt kickings.
Then they told me it was. I'm like, that's a warning. You don't.
Patriots are going to be the NFL's version of the Bulls.
Yep.
6 titles with one guy, and they're like, okay, no, you're never going to see relevancy again.
I'm okay with it.
I think the best player Chicago's ever had since Jordan retired has been Dwayne Wade.
Technically Dirk. Well, I mean, yeah, but Dirk Rose technically is the best. Well, technically Dirk Rose because he played longer.
Right.
Wade's better career, obviously.
Yeah.
It's like saying LeBron's.
and Wade was a rental.
It's like saying LeBron's the best Heat player. Technically, he was best Heat player of all time, but he was not here long enough to establish that.
Nah, Thunder Dan Marley.
It's Dwayne Wade here.
No.
He's got a statue, not LeBron.
I mean, technically, yeah, he's got a statue, but
A statue?
Have you seen it, though?
Yeah, I know.
8,000 with what you call local.
Look like a statue.
Name is Michael Cartrude.
It's like an old man.
Right. I mean, you got a statue in front of the building, so, I mean, you can't really say anything.
Yep.
But I'm like, is it too late to do the head? Can they do another head, like unscrew the head that's on there and then put the new one on? I don't know anything about statues, so I don't know if that works.
Yeah, exactly.
I know you can take parts off sometimes if they're made of metal, which it is, I believe. Two Ks and 2 Js. If Kyle doesn't fold, he's going to get out of this with the pot with ace high.
6,000.
But for that, he'll have to stick around. Steve lets out a bet with 10-4. Oh, Kyle makes the hero call. Tom, buddy, what are you still doing here? Step aside. Tom steps aside. Oh, the changed expression. There was such a look of dejection on Kyle's face when he's like, okay, show me. And he's high. And then, like a kid at Christmas, his face just went, like, my ace high is good. I win the pot? Seriously? Nice.
Nice.
All right, JD, he'll play with Jack 9 suited. Actually, he'll make it 8K to call. Here's Steve with a KJ, John right behind with King 10, and behind him is Tom with Ace Queen. So I think there's going to be some callers here.
All in. One, two, three. All right, we have one all-in player. Side pot is right here, guys.
All right, four-way action. Couple of King 10s, a King Jack, and a Jack 9. And JD, the initial better, got the best of it with his 9. 10 on the turn. So John and Steve are now co-leaders of the hand with King 10. Steve's got a gutter. He needs a queen. Steve was all in, and the river card is an 8. JD needed another 9 or jack, so on the side pot, John.
All right, you're good for the side over here.
No, I'm sorry, that Steve is going to take the side pot, but for the main pot, John and Steve, run, go, get to the chopper! With King 10 for both of them. Steve and Steve, both in the danger zone.
Yep. Question is, which Steve is what?
Yeah, we used to differentiate. We would have Steve, because this is not the first time we've had 2 Steves on the table, and then they would put an extra E in the middle of it, so we'd have Steve and Steve.
Steve. Well, Steve.
Yeah. But this time, nope, they just went with Steve. See, I'd be kind of a smart aleck about it if I was in production. I'd be like Steve 1 and Steve 2. All right, Joe with a suited K9. Show the Kennel Club hand some respect. Ten on the turn. So Kyle is still leading this with his pair of 6s. JD has a pair of 4s. And he'll play along. Joe showed respect to the Kennel Club hand and didn't get a single diamond or a king or a 9. 7 on the river. JD pulls ahead and wins the hand, hitting a straight on the river to beat the middle pair. Indeed, Desmond. That 7 was very lucky for him. All right, action over to Allen with 6s.
A call, I think. No.
No, that's a raise. He definitely did not limp with 6s. He raised like you're supposed to.
Right.
Limping with those low to middle pocket pairs, you're just asking to get bled out.
That's what trouble, yep.
It's like, please.
Totally agree with you on that.
Death by 1,000 cuts. Kill me. Got to make those pocket pairs worth something. If not, then just throw them in the mug.
What are we doing?
See, I bust Stephanie Mo's chops a lot about the pocket deuces.
Yeah.
But she suggests like raises. But wow, speaking of which,
Exactly.
look at all them ducks. It's a full house for Allen.
My Lord.
But when she says you should raise with deuces, I'm like, technically that's correct. Because, like I just said, there's really only 2 acceptable moves with those low to middle pocket pairs. It's either raise or fold them. I mean, I would never raise with deuces. But I've never heard Steffi say, oh, just limp and see what happens on the flop. Like, no, don't do that ever.
5.
All right. Steve and Tom with Ace, Queen, and King 10 are set to do battle. Fight. Well, both get their top pair, but Tom's aces leading the way. 3 of diamonds. No help to either player. Steve needs a king or a queen, and instead it's another ace. It's 3 aces. Tom's gonna bet it. It was just a question of how much. Commentators obviously never heard the saying, limpin' is pimpin'. So saith Super Adaptoid on Twitch. You're right. I have not heard that expression before. So give him some points. Limpin' is pimpin'.
I might use that one day.
Yeah. I'm not sure how I would use it. Because like I said, I wouldn't limp with hands. With like that, so I'd have to limp with it, then win, then say it to my defeated opponent. Limping is pimping.
Yeah.
No, you held it pretty well.
It's actually a really good board for you because it's
Well, I mean,
all
if
over the place.
you could have a straight or
Nope, no jack there.
All kind of stuff.
awesome board.
Desmond.
I had the flush draw too.
Yeah, right?
We saw the World Series with the guy had the 4 aces, the other guy had the
I see since winning a few hands, Tom's developed a sense of humor. He used to kind of give the dealer some side eye with all the bad hands. Now he just got a bad hand and he kind of smiled at it. So could be that he's won a few hands.
Yeah.
Increased his chip stack. You'd be amazed what that does for a player's disposition. Ooh, and it's all in with kings for JD. It's all in for Steve with 14.5 with ace-3 suited. So those are the last two. So it's Steve's A tray of diamonds against JD's kings. Fight.
There you go. It's not considered a race, right?
Yeah, Steve. Yeah, Steve's looking for aces. He's looking for diamonds.
Yeah.
There's a diamond. The flush isn't looking too good now.
Oh, no.
And,
Ace or bust. Or deuce.
Yeah, deuce now for the wheel.
Did not get,
River a jack.
did not get there.
There's such a thing as having too many outs. As if to end the confusion, okay, much like the Highlander and the Steves, there can be only one.
You were at the table where they had, you had the aces.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was pocket sixes, pocket jacks, pocket aces. The board comes 6, blank, jack. So we got 2 set over set. The turn is an ace. So aces won it. Set over set over set.
4,000 to call. I missed the bad beat one time because a guy called my all in, and I was using, I had 4 jacks with a king, and I'm like, all in, and he called me, and an ace came on the turn, so I wasn't using both of my hand. Oh, wow. I was like, dude. Why? And he called with 3 jacks on the flop, and he called with like queen 10 or something stupid. I'm like, what do you
A lot of thought is going into this hand.
I'm like, thanks for the $100.
Desmond says, I caught 4 deuces with the kicker last week on video poker. Nice.
Very nice.
I don't really know much about the video poker, I'll be honest.
Yeah, me either.
Probably because I've just played, And I only dabbled on online poker just when it was like first starting, so I didn't even play much of that. It's pretty much since college just playing live action. What the hashtag for Palace Station. Never been there. Been to Main Street Station. Killer breakfast buffet. But Palace Station is a bit off from Fremont, and I've never had a car in Vegas, so.
I've never been to Vegas yet. I'm dying to go.
Yeah.
Dying to go to Vegas.
I would always get. I would just get the 3-day transit pass that would let you ride the Deuce and all the buses, unlimited for $20. Cause and I've heard people like Uber everywhere when they're in Vegas. I'm like, that's gotta get expensive though. But I go cheap. I just get the bus pass. You can go anywhere on the Strip or Fremont with that thing.
And that's why I was afraid the last time. I think it was you raised that one too. I think I'm not sure, but John raised Nicole or something like that.
But if you go, you should go for a couple of days. Don't just go for like one thing.
At least 3 days, at least.
The irony is I haven't played much in Vegas aside from the dealer event at the WSOP.
Really? Why is that?
Because I went with my wife and we did other stuff. There were restaurants she wanted to go to and shows
Oh, you went with
that
your
she
wife.
loves.
That's
Right.
different. Yeah, that's different. If you went by yourself, I'm sure you played more poker. But.
Well, that's what I did when I went by myself. I played in I played in that one WSOP event. And then I played, at a couple other places. Got 6 hours into day one, and that was it. I was going to say, with a hand like that on a video poker machine, you only won $40. You had to been wagering very small amounts. Because what little I do know is the bigger hands, like quads and straight flushes, they massive multipliers.
That's fine.
So Kyle takes that down with not a lot of big action on that hand. Just hit his ace and try to get a value bet, but wasn't going for it. Tom flopping a 7 with his 10-7. Buddy of mine from way back used to swear by that hand. Said it was the best hand you could get, 10-7.
What was the?
I never understood why. He never broke down the logic of it.
Oh, okay, I thought that's it.
He's just like, that's just the hand, trust me. I'm like,
sense.
maybe it was lucky for him, but
Yeah,
I'm like,
course.
in my experience, 10-7's
everybody has a
not
hand.
that great.
Everybody has a hand that they favor, of course, So I get it.
I don't. My favorite hand is the winning hand.
I agree with that.
There's certain hands I'll talk up here on the show, but people think that I'll like shove with queens because I'm always talking about two ladies. I'm like, no, I do not shove with queens when I get them. Not right away, anyway. Because that's the thing about two ladies. They can make all your dreams come true, but they can cost you all your money, too.
Break your heart.
And sometimes both.
Yep. Same.
Both of them sometimes.
Oh yeah.
The right circumstances.
Absolutely.
Speaking of ladies, here's JD with them.
JD. Raise ace 9, 12K.
JD from Scrubs wouldn't know what to
JD
do with two
JD
ladies.
He may re-raise this. Let me see.
But this JD probably does know what to do with two ladies.
Yes. No, JD he may re-raise this. Maybe I don't know.
I would.
He does. He goes
Again, I just said I wouldn't necessarily shove, but I would definitely repop him.
Is he priced in at this point now?
Yeah, I don't think so. He's got 44K behind.
He's definitely caught. He has one over. That's it.
Yeah, an ace-9, not that great. Can't even make a straight out of it.
Yeah. You got caught. You're alive. Take the L and move on, right?
Yeah. Now, if it was ace-10, ace-jack, I'm like, now you've got a straight possibility. Maybe you give it a little more thought, but I thought it was a bit of an overbet from that perspective. But, I mean, ace-rag can always flop that ace, and kings and queens, you know, are just decimated. So, long term, it was probably for the best. Desmond says, and leave you homeless. Ouch. Never heard that one before. Who hurt you, Desmond?
And where?
8,000.
All right, so it's king, queen suited against jack 7. And, well, nobody pairs up, but JD's got a heck of a flush draw. Joe picks up a few outs for a straight. River card, a king of clubs. JD does not hit his flush. Bunny hits his king, and he was ahead anyway.
Oh, they're trying to get you. That's weird. I didn't know it was like that.
Oh, wow, we got a description. We got to hear more of this. Desmond says, a young, beautiful lady south of Chicago, 1993.
30 years ago.
It sounds like the opening to a movie.
Oh!
Whoa! Aces, aces, aces.
Kyle flops a full house.
Yeah, he's got the boat.
High hand.
He's loving life.
High hand.
Yeah, high hand. Table 67. Don't show him. I mean, well, yeah, you're not going to disguise a hand very well with 3 aces on the flop and a lead-out bet, but they probably figured you had some kind of pocket pair.
Yeah. That's the assumption. How high?
Or an ace. Well, look at me with my ace-king. Flopping 3 aces.
If I had an ace,
Loving life.
First of all, if I had an ace, I'm milking at least a flop. See if they're going to
Right.
bet into me and then call. Then bet me and call. I mean, raise. This is hand number 51 for you guys scoring at home.
Both 5-4s call it a... Whoa, no, only one 5-4. Steve, the one and only. Again, this is... Unless I missed something... Oh, okay, he was thinking about how much to raise. Okay, with the ace-jack. I'm like, he can't be thinking this hard about just calling out of the small blind. That's... He was thinking about his raise. And John, see, look, he's legit thinking about it. It's 15K to call with 10-7 offsuit. But he just seems so infuriated that his big blind got raised because he wanted to defend his blind so bad there.
He got tilted. He feels a little tilted.
With bad, well,
He's not tilted, but he's definitely.
No, he's not tilted, because if he was tilted, he would have called. But I hate it when somebody raises my blind too, but 5x and I have 10-7, I got to let that go, man. Of course he flops the best hand. Because that's what happened last time. That's probably why I was thinking about it. Okay, now he's torpedoed. Unless he hits a 9 on the river. And I don't think we're going to see a river because Steve just shoved with 2 pair and an ace kicker.
25-5.
All in here?
I mean, there's nothing Kyle can catch to beat him except a 9 for a straight. So, yeah, he has to let that go. John probably think about the last time he struggled with folding his big blind when he got raised, and he would have won the hand. So that's probably why he was thinking about it there. He's like, you know what, that bad hand, it turned into 2 pair, and I would have took it down.
Probably a flashback.
Then he looked down at 10-7, which, I mean, I'd rather have than 5-4, but.
Those damn flashbacks.
Oh, my.
Oh,
See,
my-
you knocking that doggone table again.
I didn't touch anything.
I have to call shenanigans
On what?
on the card reader.
Got something wrong?
Well, look at it.
Oh my god, look at that, 27 outs.
No, look harder.
No, I know. What am I missing exactly? Hold on. Jack 4-3. Oh, okay. Yes.
So, bit of a card reader error. But it matters not, for John has won the hand. Yeah, John wasn't letting that one get away from him. Yeah, these RFID cards, they're a bit thicker, so sometimes you'll see them kind of bouncing around like that when they hit the rail. Almost looks like an air hockey game breaks out at the poker table. All right, we haven't seen a walk yet today. Tom's got Jack 6. Just slightly better than Allen's Jack 4. To the flop we go. Ooh, and Allen catches a 4. Big blind special indeed. And gets bet into. I love how flopping my opponent and he bets into me. Allen apparently paying no heed to that king or queen. Betting like his 4 is good. And look, Tom even pointed at the bet like, you do know I bet that, right? No, he threw enough to raise 11K.
Don't confuse me. It's my first day playing.
And Tom gives it up like, I was just kidding.
You had a bad hand. Well, when that turned over, it was pretty good. I thought two pair. I thought you had me beat the whole way then. No. Oh, you had low pair.
All right, there's a look at our chip counts. John is our chip leader, but only just barely. It's a fairly even spread. And whatever big blinds you see in that column for Steve and Kyle in the danger zone, you got to chop that number in half because the system does not take into account big blind antes.
True.
So you got to pay 2 big blinds essentially. So
Very good point.
whatever number you see there, if you're following at home,
Half
you
that.
got to cut it in half. And that's how many big blinds they really have. So instead of 21 and 18, they have 9 and 10 and a half. As the field gets thinner and the blinds get higher, it puts more pressure on those smaller stacks to act, lest they get blinded out. And, you know, who wants that? I would rather go down in a glorious showdown than get blinded out. Actions are out of John with ace-10. And gets him to fold. John's starting to use those chips a bit more. Throwing his weight around. And when you're the chip leader, you don't necessarily need the best hand when you've got a sizable chip advantage over your opponents. Just make them pay to see those draws. Because unless they flop a monster, they're going to fold to those bigger bets. Can't be putting 20, 25% of your stack in on a draw. Joe with ace-10 this time. He'll limp with it to John with the Kennel Club hand. And folds it immediately. The disrespect shown to the K9 today has just been palpable. JD, nobody raises big blind, so he'll get to see 6-3 flop for free, and you know, it's not too bad. Unless Kyle has pocket fives, which he does. Because JD needs he flopped a gut shot. He needs a 5 for his straight, but he decides not to chase it for 6K. And it was probably wise, because Kyle has 2 5s. 4 on the turn. 2 pair now for Kyle. But he'd really like Joe to go away, and, well, that's the best way to get somebody to go away. Just continue bet, continuation bet. Chip counts again, and now you're starting to see a little bit of space between John and the others. It was
Yes, John
they were
has-
like Alan and Tom were like almost neck and neck with him, but now there's a little distance. Not much, but enough if John starts bullying people. Yeah, I know, I saw. JD, another questionable hand, but he gets, this time it's a small blind. It only costs him 2K to see it, so he's not going away. Joe gets the best of that with the 6. 6-5 in the big blind, and he gets a 6. And he throws out a bet that nobody had a jack. Allen with ace-3. And calling there. I don't know about that move. If you wanted to represent a jack, you needed to to raise him with ace 3, you're not going to catch much as far as a draw goes. And Joe is about to punish him for his limping behavior. 12K to go. I mean, you're drawing for your top pair, so if you're not going to try to push him off and represent a bigger hand with a significant raise, just get out of there. Throw it in. Yeah, that's why I didn't like that limp he did on the turn. I'm sorry, on the flop. He just called the bet to see another card. I'm like, if you've got a made hand, that's a good move. But if you're still drawing, that's... All right, Tom leads off with an AK. And he'll bump it up to 15 with ace-king. All the way back to the big blind. Steve with queen 3. He's like, you know what? Here you go, buddy. Enjoy.
Yep. I think it's tightening up here now. I think we're probably around like 13 players here, maybe. 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well,
Between 14 and 12 around there.
I believe we're paying 7 places.
So about 14 players, probably 14 and 13 players left. Maybe 15 depending on the other table.
But keep it tuned in right here. We'll be taking you down to the very end of our tournament today, our 130 deep stack, 3K guarantee. Did John post his blinds? Well, he posted his ante. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's on the side there.
Yep.
Okay. Can say, you know, you feel good as the chip leader, but I'm like, you still got to post your blinds there, buddy.
Still got to do it. Yep.
All right.
No discount.
Round to John for the big blind. Can't be too happy with his hand, but that snaps a streak of his big blind getting raised. So at least he'll get to see his low cards flop for free. And like they say, you get what you pay for. And John 6 deuce is not good after that flop. Steve bets his pair, and John quickly folds. And whenever you get a bad hand in your big blind, you always kind of want to see it flop for free, and you hope nobody raises you because you can't call with a bad hand. But
of course.
When you flop air with your bad hand, and then you get bet out anyway, it's essentially the same thing. So, and it makes no logical sense, but I share that sentiment. I'm like, even though it'll probably end the same way if I get raised or not, I just hate it when they raise my big blind. It just irritates me. And Desmond says, yeah, off to work. Thanks for hanging out with us, Desmond. Come back again sometime.
Absolutely.
Preferably tomorrow. We'll be streaming our Omaha tournament, our weekly Omaha tournament, same time.
Same bad time, same bad channel.
Yep. All right, so the flop comes Jack 7-4. Steve and JD hit their jack, but JD's got the better kicker. And he's betting like it. Folding him back around to Allen. All right, Steve called that bet. They've both got a jack. But Steve needs to hit an 8 here. Turn card a 4. Now that gives Steve a lot of chop outs. He still has the same outs to win as before, but the board pairing and a queen on the river Gives them the same hand, so unless somebody wants to bet somebody out, but they don't.
Nice answer.
Yeah, get to the chopper.
In the chopper.
Yeah, I only yell it once per show. I'm told everybody loves it when I yell it, but
Now.
no.
Let me do it then.
Well,
Get to the chopper.
except you can't do it.
I can't do it like you.
And I'm not trying, I'm not trying to be mean about it.
You didn't want that in hands. Jack it down.
Yeah, fold-a-rama, folding. Everybody's folding. Okay, we still haven't had a walk yet. We get our first one. Tom's looking at 7-6 offsuit. Do you want to give Alan the walk? Nope. No walk for you. So 5-4 off again, 7-6 off. No nada for either player. River card, a 3 of spades. Tom's 7 high. He's going to win this. It's like, that's one of those hands that's, it's like, somebody bet. You could bet a natty ice and win that pot. You know, if natty ice is played.
Of course.
In
yeah.
poker room. Like, I don't want to put any chips on this because it's so bad, but I'll bet you a natty ice. With these cards, nah, I fold. All right, more balancing. We're going to take Kyle off of the featured table. I guess he's going to the
We're probably at 12.
non-featured
We're
table.
probably at 12 right now, I think. Close to that, right? I would say.
Yeah, they wouldn't take him unless we were at 12. If we were at 13, we would get to keep him because it would be 7 and 6.
Right, correct.
Frickin' beep, man. That's the thing. I mean, I know how to fix it.
Fix what?
The beep.
Oh, yeah.
Like if I knew specifically where it was coming from, and because the smoke detector in my house did the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just snatched mine off.
Low bat? No. I mean it's low battery, which
Yeah.
I still can't figure out. So I'm like, okay, you're low on juice, but you're beeping more frequently and using up more juice. How's that battery not dead? But I just swapped the battery out and it stopped beeping. All right, starting off with Steve with his king queen and says 15K to go, fellas. Enough of these limping shenanigans. Over to JD with Jack 8 suited. Out of the small blind. Seems a little annoyed. He's got to fold it, but. All right, so Steve's king queen against. And Joe's coming along with 6-5 for reasons. And yet again, the flop misses everybody. How does this happen? This is a rare talent that we're seeing.
25.
All right, so John with absolutely nothing pushes a big stack of orange. It looks like 25K. Joe folds with a bit of frustration. He needed a 3. He had a gut shot. He needed a 3, so it can't be that bad. Steve didn't pair his king or his queen. So John steals that pot, stretching his chip lead. Yeah, that hand could have gone so much differently if there was a queen on that flop.
Yep.
John would have been dead to rights. All right, we're going to start off with John, 7-3 suited this time. John flirting with 200K there. It's not quite there, but almost. So here's JD with Jack 5 suited. He'll play along. Joe out of the small blind with 64. It's not great, but for half price. What do you want for half price, people? Come on. In this economy? 3 kings. Steve has flopped quads. High hand, table 67. And here's Steve with quad, and he can't do anything except check. Check. And that's what he was looking for. He was looking for somebody to bet. JD's trying to steal this pot, and he threw out 16K. So Steve, oh, look at this. Appreciate this. The Hollywooding. He picks up his cards. He puts them down. He's thinking, gee, what should I do with frickin' quads? The stone cold nuts.
I will call.
I saw anything but call is a bad move, Steve. This here. Listen to me from the past.
He called, right? Yeah.
Right.
It's at 17, I think, right? No, 20.
Is it 20 or is it 16? Oh, it's 20. So
yeah.
he just calls, turn card. And now the best thing that could happen for Steve was for JD to catch something. He doesn't, of course. Check. 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 Don't you dare bet. Check. Check. Ooh, he checks. Is JD going to try to steal? No, he went all in. No, Steve, why? Why, Steve? JD might have bet again at the pot, and you could have got some value.
He may have the call because if the guy, because he made look like
yeah, but
weakness.
look what's out there, though. I mean, now there's a flush out there. Now there's a straight out there, and he was already behind quads. Any pocket pair for a boat. There's so much. No, I wouldn't have bet anything. I definitely would have checked that. And it might not have added any value. JD might have checked back, you know. Thinking, well, I was trying to steal it and I got caught. That could happen. But he bet last time, so I would try to suck another bet out of him. Because otherwise, why just flat on the turn if that's not going to be your play? I mean, why not raise it then and there and just end it?
Is that a good point? Yeah.
Yeah, if I flat there, I'm never betting ever. I would have checked there, and if he value bet, I wouldn't have shoved either. I would have just maybe a min raise. I said, just what would he call? Because I want to get his. How often do you flop quads in this game? Come on, you gotta try to max that value.
Yeah.
Any way you can. Well, John and Steve both flop a 6. They both got king 6. John's going to bet his 6. Alan, he's got a gut shot for Broadway. He needs a king. He's not likely to get it against a couple of king 6s. And Alan raised it. John folded his 6. I mean, it was just a 6. Alan representing a bigger hand than he had. All right, fold it around to Joe with jacks. Kind of poetic. Tom's got a suited kennel club, but you'll agonize over your big blind getting raised when you have 5-4, but you're not going to play a suited canine? Make it make sense.
That's something to say that. Make it make sense.
Oh, wait, did he call?
Hit it,
I thought he folded.
It's king, though. Best 20,000.
Oh, it's Tom. Okay. No, I got the names. It's Tom, not
Yeah.
John. Okay, John. I'm like, there's no way John folded K9 suited there. So I said make it make sense, and that makes sense. I had the wrong guy. That's why it looked like that. All right, Tom went all in. And he's Joe's looking at it. He's got jacks. He's short stacked. But it's a bet that just screams I have a king.
It's all right. It's a winner.
Seriously, a neon sign that pointed downward and said, I have a king, would have been more subtle than that bet right there. Must be getting close to a break with a color up
Yes, we
because
are.
I see,
I think break me the next 5 minutes.
yeah, Alan racking up, he's got a lot of orange, doesn't have a lot of color.
Maybe last time.
Oh, they took him?
Yeah.
Oh, they took him. We must be down to 10. Okay. Because I thought he was just getting ready for an upcoming break. And I'm like, whoa, where's he going?
We are getting close, though, to the next break.
All right, 6K to go. Blinds are going to come really fast now. So it should induce a lot of action. Emphasis on should. Poker's not an exact science, people. Again, how do these flops keep managing to miss everybody? And on the turn, there we go. Paired ace for Joe and Tom. Joe's kicker is better for now. But it's only a 6, so anything higher than a 6 on the river will nullify the kicker, and there it is. So at this point, it's about who can tell a better story, and, well, they tell about the same story. I have an ace.
Yep.
Not proud of the kicker. Okay, now the color up's preparing for the color up. So is this the break?
I think it is. Yep, it's a break. They're getting up now.
All right, so I was hoping we would get down to final table to bring you the exciting conclusion of today's show, but 'twas not to be. So we'll take a 10-minute break, and we'll be back with part 2 of our 130 buy-in tournament, 3K guarantee. So hang out with us, and we'll be right back. And we are back. Thank you all for hanging out with us if you're still around. We are down to 10 players, 5 on each table. As soon as we lose one more player, we will consolidate and we will begin our final table.
But as long as you get one, you keep playing your hand. Right, you can't play the hand from back there. As long as that is correct.
But for now, 5-handed.
You just can't be on the phone.
Action over to JD with A6 on the button. 488 the level now. 20K units it's going to cost you per orbit. So some of these short stacks got to start thinking about making moves pretty soon. All right, King 7 deuce the flop. Joe with top pair and wasting no time saying, come get it. I'm all in. But gets no action on it. And Brent's, one of our production crew, apparently has something very important to tell our dealer Keymont because he's blocking the whole view. But it seems one of the players on the non-feature table has been eliminated. It only took one hand coming back out of the break. So we are down to 9 players. So just when we come back from break, we're going to take another short break. But only the table is. I'll stick around with you as they figure out the final table.
Sometimes it goes in there.
Wait a second. So 6 is 7, 7 is 8. Yeah, 6 is 7. Oh, so I'm here? So you do 6? So I'm 7.
Am I in the right place then?
7 moves over 1. Yep, you're perfect. Okay.
I did.
All right. Like I said, thanks for hanging out with us. And I've just been handed from management our payout information. Ernest, how about you go ahead and let them know?
Right, as I said earlier, we're paying
65
paying
players.
The top 7 players here. We were down to what, first off? Right down to, are we at final table now?
My broadcast partner's a little shy. What the dude, what do you... Get in here. What?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, dude, I didn't... You didn't
He's like,
well, first off...
What's wrong? Is your hair not fixed or something?
First off, no, it's not fixed. Number 1. Okay, let's start there. Number 2, you didn't warn me. You were on camera right now.
I said they were taking a brief break while they get the final table set up and everything.
We are in final table right now. We're paying top 7, top prize, of course, $22.75 at first. Second gets $14.06. Third, $9.32. Fourth, $6.60. Fifth, just a hair under $500, $497. Sixth, $396, a hair under $400. And 7th place, $334 for Stanley Cup. I mean, I'm happy for you guys, man.
We got a lot of.
No, I really am. But
most shows there's a lot of Ranger fans in the chat, so I just wanted to remind them.
I mean, look, we're struggling. We lost 8 last 10 games, so we got to get our shit together.
You gave Shesterkin all that money.
Yeah, you disagree with
for that?
Do you disagree with the deal?
Ironically, not really.
You said that they need to sign him.
Yes,
they did so. So that got it away. Now, I don't know because I'm not as baked into the NHL day to day like you are. Value-wise, that contract versus it's the highest paid goalie, right?
The Rangers can only go as far as Shesterkin can take them. Without him, they're
right. So you lock in your best
lottery team.
You bake in your best player, and you hopefully the rest of the players just.
When he's the best goalie in the world, they're cup contenders. You saw last year.
Yeah.
Because the Rangers losing in the East Final last year was not because of goaltending.
No.
Absolutely
Hell
not.
No. They got outshot every game.
They got outshot. Yeah. The defense was porous.
Yeah.
They couldn't hit anybody.
They're small.
Aside from Rempe.
They're small, right?
And Trouba.
They're a small team, right? Yeah.
Yeah. There's no physicality, and they did nothing to address that in the offseason. So that's why they're struggling right now because Shesterkin's not the best goalie in the world right now.
Who is right now?
Probably Gustafson for Minnesota. All right, now we're back to the table. First hand of our final table.
No, I was going to do metal horns, but now we don't have metal horns anymore.
No.
Metalocalypse.
Did you watch the finale of it?
I never watched it.
Army of the Doomstar?
I need to watch it.
Watch it.
I need to watch it, my friend.
It's pretty good. And I thought it was a very fitting way to tie up the series. No story loose ends. No spoilers either, so you don't have to watch it on your own. But it was good. Definitely worth a watch. I watched it the day it came out. I'm like, I was waiting on it. Like, man, that's going to be awesome. And right off the bat, we've got Rick with ace-queen shoving all in, and I'm assuming he's our chip leader because I haven't seen a chip stack like his before in this tournament. 471K, more than double the biggest stack we had on the feature table. So probably a lot of questions about Rick from the players from the feature table that are remaining. And my first question for Rick, with all that, ooh, look at all that. But is he a pickle? No laughter. If Ferris was here on the mic with me, he would laugh.
Is he a pickle?
Is he a pickle?
I missed the.
I'm a pickle!
I missed the opening line.
I'm Pickle Rick!
You got Keem on the box, by the way.
So he's such a fan of that show, Ferris.
Rick and Morty? Rick and Morty?
Rick and Morty, yeah. He's like,
I try to get into it. I can't get into it, man.
I mean, when that episode came out for a month, Ferris was running around the kennel club, I kid you not, going, I'm a pickle!
I can see that, too, with him. I can see that. Yeah, well, I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan of that. I guess I wasn't a fan. Let me rephrase that. But I watched a couple episodes, and it's a good show, but I just couldn't get into it. Like, and I guess for me, more than anything else, there's too much content now to really gravitate to like one or two shows, and there's too much content out there.
I'm surprised. You're such a big Scrubs fan. Yeah. Elliot from Scrubs is in that show.
Is she really?
She plays the mom. Beth.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That might change something there. Because I love Elliot.
Wow,
Elliot. No, don't do that.
No, don't do that.
That's the show that really was the foundation of my marriage. Because my wife was the one that got me into that show. She was a huge fan. When I met her, we used to watch that show every night, and we actually kind of still do. Turk and Carl is literally our marriage. That's literally us, literally. Like personality and everything. So.
I saw all the chips there, but I didn't realize it was in a.
All right, over to Steve and Alan, who are on opposite sides of the table than they were before. Alan with a suited Jack-9, he'll play. Uh, 4-3 suited for Rick. I guess he figures I've got all these chips. I can play a few marginal hands. But Joe's over there with kings. Da-da-da-dun. And Joe's playing for all of it. So Rick, with his 4-3 suited, was like, geez, was this 4-3 suited? But he's going to call him and try to get the elimination. 4-3 suited versus pocket kings. And a king in the window. Oh, that's what we call in this business. Overkill. Uh-oh, Rick could sneak out with a 5. Nope, that's not a 5. Dun, 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 dun. Rick's going to need a bigger boat. Kings full of 9s for Joe, and he will double up off of the chip leader. Yeah, here at the final table, not everybody is getting paid. 2 players will not make the payoff cutoff.
Correct.
Too many offs in that, so yeah, need to word that better. So all in pre-flop like that, Rick had to know that he had a monster.
Not what I went all in on you with.
but took a spin on some suited connectors, but just didn't pay off.
Alan, did you have an ace?
An ace? I didn't have an ace to him.
No. Last hand.
Oh, the last hand? I had
Over to Rick with ace 4.
22.
Raise 22.
Tony, who I doubt put his cards in the box, says, see you later. All right, and that's what you got to do as the chip leader. Rick kind of threw out a raise, make everybody pay to see their hands flop, and nobody liked their hand enough. So Rick picks up the antes and the blinds.
So blinds now are 4 and 8. 8 ante, as always.
4, 8, 8. Well, not as always, just for 20 minutes.
That's right.
And then there'll be 5, 5, 10, or 5, 10, 10 rather. Bo is back. I told you Bo would be back. When they took him away, they're like, don't be sad. Bo will be back. He's a good player. And he's made our final table here. He's got pocket 9s. And he'll throw out a raise.
23. Players all in.
23K, Michael Jordan style. Rick's going to call. Oh, Rick's going to shove. All in right behind him with ace-king. That should do it for the action, unless there's some pocket aces here that have snuck in somehow. Bo has to decide if he wants to risk his tournament and go out 9th with 7 spots to pay out, or if he wants to take a spin on his pocket 9s. Rick really using the chip stack to intimidate. It's got both thinking about it. Bo is going to lay down 9s. Rick shows him. That it would have been a race. But in the process, he extracts 23K out of Bo and adds to his stack. All right, ace-10 suited this time for Bo. Just limps this time. Action all the way around to the blinds now. Allen's in the small blind with a suited ace-5. And he's going to raise it. Min raise, 16K to go. Tom lets go of his 8-deuce off. Bo calls, so it's a couple of suited aces against each other. Allen's looking for 5s or diamonds. Wow, how about this? Queen 10-10, Bo gets trips, but 2 diamonds.
2 diamonds, yep.
So Allen bets. Turn card, a 9 of diamonds. Allen hits his nut flush. Bo with 3 of a kind.
20.
He needs the board to pair. River card does not pair the board. Allen is going to win this as long as he doesn't fold. And both of these guys are kind of on the short stack side of it.
Yep.
So even if we don't get an elimination here,
Someone's gonna get
somebody's getting hurt bad.
Yeah, someone's going to cripple, definitely.
Bets 25K. Bo, he can't let it go. That's unfortunate for him. He flopped a monster, but he didn't have the chips to bet Allen off of his draw. And the diamond ended up sinking him. Ooh, and Bo is now way down in chips and going into the big blind. 16K blind. That's gotta sting after losing a hand like that, being big blind right away.
Yeah. But that's how the cookie crumbles.
Now's not the time to get tilted. After a hand like that, you got to keep your composure now more than ever. All right, we're going to start with John. King 8 folds. Rick's got King 10.
18. All in.
All right, I was watching JD never put his cards in the box. So we have no idea what he has. He's all in for 43K. So Rick was the raiser. So Rick's going to try again to get an elimination here. He's going to call. It's King 10. And JD has jacks. To the flop. Ooh. Okay, Rick really needs a jack.
The 2 outer, I think.
Yeah.
Well, actually, 1 outer.
But doesn't get it, so.
That's all she wrote, I think.
No, Rick's
No.
no, Rick had the draw.
Right. That board is wrong,
So.
obviously. That board is wrong.
So JD's gonna stick around. Doubles up off of Rick. VPip's a little skewered because Rick's been very aggressive with his chip stack and he's gotten a lot of good hands. So as the final table goes on, I don't think Rick's gonna stay in the 70s for VPip. All right, battle of the blinds here. Bo's ace-queen suited against John's 9-6 suited. And they're both clubs. All right, it's only 5K more to John in his big blind, and we know how much he loves to defend his big blind. So he calls the 5K extra. Ace-queen of clubs versus 9-6 of clubs. And a queen on the flop. And nope, nothing there. So Bo doubles up with his 2 pair. Not a big loss for John. He was the big blind and the big blind ante and just cost him an extra red chip to try to score a knockout. All right, Tony, first hand he's playing, it's an ace-9. He's all in for 43K.
What seat is that in? Okay.
What's your kicker? What's your kicker? Pretty good. Ace 10.
Ace 10. Queen 10. All in call. Here we go. This should be a little bit of a... Ace 10 suited way ahead. Flop comes aces. Ooh, bad spot. That's pretty much over here. That's over.
It's all over but the shouting.
That's all over. And Bo's out.
Flop, huh? Wow.
And then there were
8
eights.
players, yep.
I'll say yeah. I'm short, so I'll say yeah, of course. No, I always do anyway.
All right, 7 spots get paid.
I'm good with whatever you guys do. 10 or 20.
See, young guy, they only got the Zelia or Memo or
Now you're gonna win the tournament.
you know.
They're making a deal for 8.
Well, they're
An outside deal.
maybe they're talking about where to, maybe getting some dinner together or whatever.
Oh, are you? Oh.
All right, action over to Tom.
Oh, you collecting? Oh,
Whoever the bubble is. Are we down to 8? 2, 4, 6, 8.
Hey,
Yeah. Next out.
Oh, yeah, but I mean,
oh, you can't just put it on the
yeah,
table.
just don't, don't do it. You can hand it to him. Just don't.
Just give it to this guy whose name we don't know, we've never seen.
25.
before.
If he gets up and runs, it's even worse.
You're collecting?
How far can he
25.
get?
Well, 25
We'll
is
send
call.
the young guy after him.
20 bucks.
His
John,
name, right? Oh,
John,
his
20
name,
bucks. 20. 20.
Should allow that at all on the table, though. I mean, we make a good deal with have someone else.
That's why we don't talk about it. Because technically,
Just put it in the pocket.
On camera.
Whoever got it got their money back.
when you started talking about it.
I wasn't aware it was still an issue.
It's technically a side bet.
Yeah, it is. Hey, yeah, technically.
All right, next move.
I would put my chips out if I did.
Lines up.
8 players left. Lines now 5,000, 10,000. I think. No, it's still 4-8. It's still 4-8. Maybe.
Then you had a bunch. You really did great. I know what you mean.
Yeah, still 488. Another couple minutes. 20-minute blinds, Ernest, not 30.
That's right. This is not Friday.
A new dealer, yes, indicates blinds up.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know.
Top comes Jack 6 deuce. 3 to the flop. So Rick hits a 6 there actually. But Alan bets 10K. Rick raises to 25K.
Has he put Rick on a bluff? Ooh, that gives him a lot more outs
Yeah, probably wouldn't bluff.
than just the king or the queen. And nope. 2 pair of 10s and 6s. And Rick's going to get out of there with that pot.
Believability.
Promising when you have a 10.
A win's a win, right? Yeah. You know, once you got the chips
that squeaky noise is annoying.
I guess you can have another one.
All in.
And Tony, he has one move. Or two moves, all in or fold. Ace Jack. There's worse hands to go all in on. Steve. Can't see his. He put his cards in the box, but we can't see what they are. He's looking like he wants to give it a spin. He does. He goes all in for less. It's Ace Jack offsuit versus King Tray offsuit. Flop comes, and there's the ace. Two pair, kings and deuces. And with that, Steve is eliminated in 8th place. Steve eliminated on the bubble, and then there were 7.
Yep, and we're enough for the money.
So, congratulations to our 7 remaining players for making it to the money. 7th place is going to walk home with $334. 6th, $396. 5th place, $497. 4th place, $660. 3rd place, $932. 2nd place, $1,406. And to our winner, $2,275. That is how the payouts break down. I believe this tournament started at 11:15. So we just passed the 5-hour mark. So not a bad day's work for 5 hours. Getting at least $300.
That thing is annoying.
Allen with a queen jack off, decides to raise it. Tom's right behind him also with a queen jack offsuit. And John, he can't not. 9 deuce offsuit, but he's in the big blind. He can't not defend that blind. Open-ended straight draws for both Tom and Alan with the same hand. John gets out of the way. Turn card, a 6 of diamonds. Tom content to let Alan drive the action. River card, 8-10. Both players with the same hand. And if you check to Allen, he's never going to check back to you. He bet yet again and gets rewarded with the pot.
After he said that. The timing is just impeccable. So looks like Bill Belichick is back to coaching football again.
Boo.
Yeah, not but it's in college though. North Carolina football, it is.
Yeah. Somebody better tell him the rules for taping the other team's practices are stricter in college than they are in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
His shady tactics won't fly down there. All right, 7-7-5 on the flop. Sean was all in with air.
Air.
But they all believe him, so that don't much matter. Oh, I guess we get to test that earlier theory. Limpin' is pimpin'.
Mm-hmm.
Because Tom limped with sevens. And this is why you don't limp with sevens. Rick with a 5. Just, what was that era of wrestling? Ruthless aggression?
That's correct. Right after attitude. That's 2002 to 2005.
Well, Rick's got it.
6.
Well, he had it, but JD went all in with a mystery hand.
Ruthless aggression. So the new word today for these kids is glazing.
What?
Glazing. You know what glazing means?
Both literal and not appropriate slang. Yes, I do, and I don't see fit to repeat it.
Yeah, I don't know what it means. To be honest with you.
Well, keep it that way.
Well, apparently, according to my
Protect your innocent eyes.
son, of course, according to my son, it's like hyping somebody up and whatever. It has nothing to do with the. So I said, okay, cool.
It's not exactly.
I always assume it's something bad immediately because these kids today are so. This generation below us is different.
Who's darn kids? Well, they've all got a pair, but Tom has the worst pair with his 3s. JD's get a 6. He actually put his cards in the box, so kudos to JD. And then there's Alan with top pair and top kicker. And he bets 35. Tom's first. He don't like that queen 5. Folding all the way around to the small blind. It's JD with 9-8, and Joe in the big blind with 6 deuce. And Joe raises with 6 deuce like a champion and gets the fold. Like I said, most people with bad hands just want to see a flop. Joe's like,
Yep.
You know what? F that noise. Why don't I just take it right now?
Who's the guy that was my favorite Martian? Ray.
Yeah, I don't remember his name,
But he looks like him, doesn't he?
Tom with 7 deuce looking at Todd like, why me?
The side move.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch the show.
Todd, our dealer, doing a great job.
Not the movie.
Not for Tom, obviously.
oh,
No, TV show.
yeah, the
The
TV
movie, I
show.
think, was a different guy.
Yeah, right.
All right, over to JD with a mystery hand.
All right, go ahead.
Folds it. So, battle of the blinds here. Joe just limps. Allen with 9-8 in the big blind and gets an 8. It's the top pair. And throws out an oversized bet just to wrap it up and take it down.
I take short naps, so I don't know where the hell I am.
All right, button.
Like my wife, I said, when you were sleeping last night, you said some terrible, terrible things about me. She said it was a dream. I said, really? She said, yeah, I wasn't awake. She says, I was awake. That's what she was. I was awake. I told her upside down.
I got where you were.
Here's small
It
blind.
wasn't a dream. I was awake.
You're doing great.
5, right?
Yeah.
24.
Okay. All in.
Tony's all in with them 7s.
All right, let's go. I do it. Call.
Call.
And Rick calls him with an ace-10. It's a classic race. It's ace-10. It's 7s. Flop we go. A 7 right in the window. Rick needs a lot of help. That's part of it. I was about to say running hearts.
Heart, heart.
Oh.
Ooh, and hits his ace, but it's not enough to overcome the trip 7s.
60,000. I was running hot, now I'm running cold. 20.
Mercedes, let me do you have orange juice?
60.
No,
Correct?
Yep, 60,000. Right up.
Nice going. At least you weren't the bubble. Now you can get a chance to win this thing.
I put him in the
Yeah, I'm
They're
saying at
playing
least you
7.
weren't the bubble. And I said you weren't the bubble, so now you can take first place.
Mercedes, I'll need change of a 20.
You never know. It's a cool game.
Yeah.
The worst thing is we keep coming back.
How are you gonna get this much fun for $130?
I tell you, I come here for
$2,000 in 2 hours.
That's right. I got a Broadway
Should we
show
fold
for
here?
500.
Or
Ooh, Allen with kings on the button. With an ace-king in front of him. It's like, how to play this one?
How do you do it?
You definitely got to raise. Oh, under no circumstances at all. Kings are known as ace magnets for a reason. So you definitely can't. Definitely can't limp. Tom says, nope, 50K ain't it. And there's John with 6-3. And come on, John. John, we've been doing this all day. You can't be serious. And he's thinking about defending the big for a second with 6-3 offsuit. It's like, dude, just get out of the way. It's back to Tom. I'm sorry, it's back to Alan, rather. He's asking for the count.
Well, he loses one out.
I mean, it's only going to be 37K to call. He's already in for 50.
Yeah. He's going to call this.
Yeah, I can't see him folding aces for 37K more.
87 total. I call.
Oh, a bit of an adjustment. It's 42K to call, but still less than half of what he put out there. So, yeah, he's calling.
No, I just wanted to know.
It's ace-king versus kings.
There's always an ace and there's
One
always
over.
an ace on the flop.
There's one out.
No, I have no luck with kings.
And there's the flop.
Uh-huh.
No ace. Tom needs an ace.
I wasn't thinking about knocking.
Queen, ace, and an ace only. And that's not an ace. So Tom has been eliminated. He will finish in 7th place. And tell all the ladies and gentlemen watching
334.
what he'll be going home with. $324.
334.
$334. For 5 hours work, that's still a pretty good day's pay.
50 to tell him I had a good hand. I don't look to fool anybody.
So nothing to hang his head about.
Yeah, no, he's got it cool, but I don't look to fool people. I'm not trapping anyone.
There's a Jerry Springer documentary coming out on Netflix soon.
Hooray!
Check it out.
It should. There's no action. This should be up. I didn't hear the button. It's 15 right now.
Could never get into that show.
I mean, yeah, I was never a fan of the show, but there are moments I'll see.
Brings the most violent, short-fused people out there.
course.
And then always act surprised when a fight breaks out. That was always my favorite. Like, whoa, what's going on? I'm like, oh, gee, really? That would be like watching Power Rangers. And they'd be like, a giant monster? You don't say. Who saw that coming? It's a freaking formula, man. This time, John with the kings up against Rick with Jack-9 suited in the big blind. And an all-in and a snap call. John looking to double up with his kings against Jack-9. Rick, he really needs a good run out.
Yep, he does.
And, well, he got a little bit. There's a 9. He needs a jack or another 9. That's not it. River card. A deuce.
John holds.
So 2 pair each, but kings and ducks beats 9s and ducks. Ernest, my broadcast partner, still hasn't quite mastered gravity yet, which is odd.
You think?
A little old to not know how gravity works. And with that, I think Rick has lost the chip lead now to Alan. Just eyeballing their stacks.
No, serious there.
All right, over to Joe with 6s. Thinking about making a move. He's got a little less than 100K, and he does move all in.
This one turned over. Should I turn over?
3 of hearts is out of play.
Alan accidentally exposed a 3 of hearts. Now, I was going to say, Rick with 300, if he still had 550 and change, maybe he thinks about giving Joe a call, but instead, everybody folds to his all-in raise. Yeah, I know. I've got the same setup you have, dude.
Oh, you do? Okay. No, okay.
Except mine's a little better because it has a better display. Or a bigger display.
I mean, you got a point. Six players left.
Yeah, he's big blind. Let me get 2,000 more.
Try to.
Yeah, with the shot,
Too good.
man.
Too good.
Like it. Ain't shooting, you ain't trying. 15 to call.
I'll make it 35.
35,000.
What do you have, aces?
Ace 10. Shoot.
He's 10. He's got some hands now the last couple cycles. As he obviously is the chip leader as a result. He has what, 500,000 chips, I think you'll say? 600,000?
1, 2, 3, this is a
4, 500,000.
4, yeah.
Okay, so it's 15, 15.
Yes, sir.
All right, Tony's won a couple of double ups. Let's see if he's added a third move to his repertoire of all in or fold. He's got jacks.
All in.
Nope, still just the 2. All in for Tony.
Yes, sir.
With jacks. Allen with a suited ace 10. Not a bad hand to call with. It's not great, but it's not bad.
Oh,
It's a raise then an
oh,
all in.
okay. How much is that?
The all in?
Allen already 30K invested into this pot
100.
from the big blind and the ante.
Yes, sir.
So 85K more after 30K invested with a suited ace 10. He's legit thinking about this because this would be a tough fold. But he's gonna lay it down. Lays down the ace 10, Rick laying down the queen 10 offsuit. Tony shows the jacks.
I thought if you had ace king, I was going to fall, but then you were behind me.
Very disciplined fold by Allen though. I didn't think he was gonna fold that.
Kima, do you want to see if wants to color up some of these? There's a lot of orange on here. Oh, shoot. I should probably put these in the deck, right?
Yeah, it's funny because that pocket
I get
sevens
I'll
and
keep
he hit
for
the
next
I
time.
seven.
will get them right back.
So
I don't want him to lose with him the second time.
Maybe I'm supposed to call him.
You folded pocket sevens?
Pocket sevens I had. I only was
Buttons good, small blind.
I would have put the pocket 7.
15. I mean, I can color them up after you top me out if you want.
15.
Get some
You
of them
go
up.
15, 15. Okay, I make it
35,000.
So I'm at the 10. So it's another 25.
Rick had raised to 35K. Allen with ace jack offsuit. It's like, yeah, I got knocked around, or I got pushed out of the hand last time. Not this time, buddy.
35, right?
Yes, sir. You're right on.
John this time instantly folds his big blind
Good call.
without thinking about it. And
an
there's the
ace.
ace on the flop. Yep. Alan has outflopped Rick, who really didn't get anything
Alright, check, check.
for his queen 9. Another 7, and that clinches it. Alan wins this hand as long as he doesn't fold. 2 pair.
So I make it 30.
And yet doesn't bet the turn. Throws out. He can't even get the chips out to bet the river before Rick folds. And Rick's like, yeah, I know, I lost. A little too much, yeah, too much orange out there. Production crew's out there cleaning up the table a little bit. $10, $15, $15 the level now. 40,000 an orbit, so keeping the pressure on. We've slowed down in eliminations, but math is math. Lines keep going up. Can't keep all 6 of you guys forever.
I went to night school, but I can count during the daytime.
Jack 10 suited for Joe here. Thinking about making a move. Alan's right behind it with ace 10 suited, though, so that's not a good time for Jack 10.
No.
Joe goes all in.
Unless you get clubs.
And now Alan folded a suited ace 10 to an all-in before. Then again, the all-in was for a little bit more than 97K.
That is 81,000.
80,000, I think. 97,000, sorry.
Yeah, 97.
That was 4 high for a second, that's why.
Call.
Yeah, John left the table, so that's an abandoned hand.
Round to 5.
I got almost playable, but
Alright, just you and the winner.
Right, so Alan called. Okay, I was going to say, I know he didn't fold again with ace 10. Ace 10 suited, or ace 10 in spades against Jack 10 in clubs. So Joe's looking for some jacks, and he's looking for some clubs. He only got 1 club. Running clubs, nope. A jack or an 8.
That's all she wrote.
Queen, ooh, another club too. Just 1 club short. And Alan pushes his chip stack to over 700K. Easily the chip leader.
Alright, here's Keith.
That is a massive lead. That's over half the chips. Everyone else is in the danger zone. Kenny Loggins style. John, the second biggest stack with 209K. That's only 14 big blinds. It's only 5 orbits. Oh, wait, 10, 15, 15. Yeah, well, 6 orbits. That's not much. JD is not going to be all in next hand, but he's going to be close to it. So I guess his mystery hand is good because... Ooh, it was aces. So JD picks up a round of antes and blinds, which he's going to need right now. I was going to say, don't put them antes and blinds back in your stack, buddy. You got to put them right back out there. I don't know. John stepped away from the table. But 5-handed now and the blinds keep rising. He better come back soon. This is going to be a very expensive walk.
Call 15.
Alan's going to call with an ace-9. JD's all in with a queen-10 suited. It's a coin flip. With that chip stack, does Alan want to flip that coin? That's going to be the question.
Take the 15 out.
It's going to be another 85K to go.
85 more.
Alan finding some folds here. It was a coin flip. He didn't want to risk the extra 8,500. I'm starting to get worried about John a little bit. It's like, them blinds are coming, man. 5-handed, them blinds are going to come quick. Don't leave the table for too long. John looking at 4 deuce suited. He's like, I rushed back for this?
Yeah.
I'll put out the big one. Yeah, no. He's big blind. He's big blind.
John thinking about his move and then asked, oh, am I the big blind? No. And then folds immediately. He thought he was the big blind for a second.
Yeah.
With 4 deuce suited and thought about his move. Man, he wants to defend them blinds.
He does.
It's like, it's 4 deuce, man. Which is why he folded it so fast when learning he was, in fact, not the big blind. He's like, oh, well, get me the hell out of here. That 4 deuce. All right, JD's 3 deuce suited against Allen's Jack 9, and Allen gets a 9, but JD got himself an open-ended straight draw.
30.
Allen bets.
Call 30.
JD's going to play. Turn card, an ace, and JD has the wheel now. Allen's hand is dead. JD is all in. There's 3 spades out there. There's an ace out there. So if Allen had the discipline to fold that coin flip earlier, I have serious doubts he's going to call this with a pair of 9s.
95. Fold.
And I am correct. So JD taking not much of a chance on that 3 deuce. It only cost him half a blind. And it paid off for him. It's going to knock Allen down to about 560K. Still comfortably in the chip lead. Rick's under the gun. Ace queen. Immediately pops it. 40K to go. Fold-a-rama. Rick came with a dominating chip stack when we started the final table. Got into some big hands. Went for some early eliminations and was just kind of chipped down as he went. Looking to recover.
Big blind, don't fold it.
Battle of the blinds now. 10-9 for John. 9-5 suited for Rick.
Yes, sir. Players all in.
John's like, let's play for all of it. And Rick's like, you know what, let's not. And say we did.
I'll plug you the button.
All right, JD under the gun with Queen 10. Hey, Lars Ulrich, quit with the drumming. Oh, wait, no, James Hetfield.
No, you read first time.
No, it was Lars, okay.
James is the frontman.
Okay.
Queen, king, 6. So JD, no, Rick hits that.
Yeah, Rick hits the king.
JD hits the queen. He needs help. Everybody else is dead. I mean, Allen has 5s, but, you know, he needs help.
JD's like, dang nabbit, I just got these chips. So you're telling me I got to risk them?
That's how it works, man.
Like I said, a lot of small pots for Rick lately. Like I said, trying to climb back up to where he was at.
Lines up next hand.
Get that chip lead back.
And 10, 15. Fold.
Folds all the way around to Tony with 4s, who limps. Heads up. First player to bet wins. Yeah, Tony just had to. He didn't even bet technically. He just cut some chips out. JD's like, nope. See you later. Have a good day. Battle the blinds again. JD is beyond dead. Unless he makes a move.
Yeah.
Because
That'll
no, not a flop. Here JD checks. And I'm saying, JD, he needs to make a move to win this. He's not going to win by checking. There's a move.
30. It's a good move. I don't have anything. I mean, king high, but I mean, it's not. It's at least making
We've
Alan
seen
think.
Alan make these calls, though. I'm like, I think my
Yeah.
high card's good.
He's gonna hold here.
And a jack. Jacks with ace king. JD, you got to make a move. No, he cannot win by checking. Oh, and Alan makes a move. That's totally unnecessary.
And he's frustrated. He know he got caught. He got caught. Although I'm not gonna lie to you, Alan probably calls anyway because Alan has a chip.
Right. All right, Rick with ace-5 suited pops it up. It looks like 60. Just throwing a guess out there. Just trying to eyeball it. Nope, I'm overshot it. 50. In the end, it matters little. Everyone folds. That's the thing at this level about just winning the antes and blinds. Everybody takes him in. It's like, no, you're going to be big blind. Just leave it out there. Just take the small blind. The rest is in. All right, Tony's first with K tray. JD folds 6 tray. Alan, queen 6, get out of here. And once again, battle of the blinds. It's John's ace-4 suited against Rick's 10-4 offsuit. Shove from John, fold from Rick. Tic-tac-toe. All right, fold over to John, who has on the button king queen. Not bad. All right, he doesn't go all in this time. He raises about 100K. Tony's in the big blind with 4s. He's thinking about it. He's like, I mean, it is a made hand, technically. It won't be all in to call, but pretty much. He'll only have 14K behind if he calls here, so it's an all-in or a fold, and Tony folds. I don't know. That was a tough fold, I think, for Tony. Looked like he wanted to play that. Folding around to the blinds again. Here's Tony with jacks. JD is in the big blind with ace-10. Tony in the small blind with jacks. So it's an all-in and a snap call. Jacks and ace-10. To the flop we go. And there's an ace right there. Tony's drawing to one card. And that's not it.
Nope. There's some cripple, right? I think.
Oh, yes. It's JD's going to get up to close to 200K with this pot. Tony is down to 9K. Vegeta, what does the scouter say about Tony's chip stack level? It's 9,000! So with the big blind being 20K, the blind just went up too, 10, 20, 20. So every orbit's going to cost you 50K. So Tony has one hand out of the next four. He's got to decide which hand he's getting over the next four is going to be it. Tony's looking at 9-8 offsuit. Decides this is not it. JD's in the small blind with sevens, and he shoves. Shows the garbage and is like, I can't call you with that. Come on now. Now, as long as he doesn't wait until he's the big blind, Tony can actually chip up really well with only 9,000, since there's 20,000 in the middle. But he doesn't play this hand. JD is all in with king, queen. Alan has king 9. Alan doesn't want to see it. All right, it's this hand or next, and because your chip stack in this tournament format doesn't have to match the ante, this is the hand if I'm Tony. I play this hand no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Because I can win way more chips than I can if I wait one hand for the big blind.
Basically value.
Right, because there's no ante. I can only win 9,000 off each player. And Tony has a good hand, ace-jack, and he is all in, so he can win. Right now, he can win as much as 27K from the other players, plus the 20 in the ante. So he can win as much as 47K. It would still only be one orbit, but at least he'd have a pulse.
Yeah.
Actually, I won't give him one orbit. I'll give him one hand, because if he wins 47, he'd be in for 40 of it.
Yeah.
In the big blind. Okay, so he can actually, technically, he can only win 41. No, he can't win 41. Well, his own chips, and he can win 14 off the other players. So, so the main pot is sets. 21 plus the ante would be 41. That's all Tony can win. He hits his jack, and John and Rick are fighting over this side pot. 3 on the turn. And it looks like a 5 on the river. So John's going to win the side pot with his king high. Tony, on the other hand, I was right the first time. I said Tony is chipped up to 47K. 40 of it is in blind.
Yeah.
That's tough. You go from 9K to 47K, and they're like, well, you can either win this hand and or get. Like I said, we haven't had a walk yet. If I'm Tony, I'm like, oh, please let this be the first walk of the game. You want this walk. But he doesn't get a walk. Allen calls. Rick's going to call in the small blinds. It's only 10K more. Tony has decided to go all in with his last 7K. So 7K to each player. Yeah, if you're in for 20, how are you not in for 27? So 101K, and Allen flops 2 pair. I mean, Tony only had 7 deuce, but what are you gonna do?
Well, I wouldn't bet if I didn't.
All right, Allen bets. Rick folds immediately, and Tony needs runners. Ooh, there's one. He needs one more 7. Ooh, it's a full house, but the wrong way. Both players have a full house, but Allen's 7s are full of queens. Or Allen's 8s are full of queens, not 7s. So he comes from 9. He had 9K. And actually made a fight about it. Won a few clutch hands. Hard-fought 5th place for Tony. And he's walking out of here with...
$497.
So just a skosh under 5 hundo.
Scoosh. Skosh or scoosh?
Skosh.
Skosh. Nova Scotia?
No.
Nova Scotia?
No.
No. Is it going to rain outside? I don't think so. Cloudy as it is.
All right, this time John didn't go all in. He just made it 100K to go with his ace-queen.
Oh, they didn't take them yet.
That damn beeping sound.
Check. Players all in.
What was that, piano keys? What was that move?
I saw that.
That John did. I guess it means all in. He literally went...
Doesn't mean all in, yeah. You went all in. You folded. Everybody else folded.
For a second, I thought we were going to get our first walk of the day, but Alan's like, you know what? No. Alan with his ace-4, John with an ace-6. But Alan is applying the pressure. Makes it 40K to go. And Alan flops a 4. Takes a commanding lead.
20.
Puts out a modest 20K bet, a min bet. Saying, let me get some value out of you. John's going to play along for now. Turn card, a king. And Alan pumps the brakes a little bit. This will make him susceptible to a bluff, and here comes John. Yup, all in. If you're going to represent a better hand than you got, and you bet, you have to keep up the action. If once you slow down, it opens the door for your opponent to bet you off the hand. And it looks like that might be what's happening here with Alan. And Allen lets it go. And that hand could have been Allen's. He was representing a bigger hand. He did the continuation bet, and but then at the end he pumped the brakes and he stopped being aggressive, and that's when John swooped in and took it from him. Neither player had a strong hand, but in tournament play, you gotta keep up that action.
All in.
JD snap all in with an ace-queen. With that kind of bet, you really need a cooler to get any action.
Cooler.
And there's no cooler here, now with 3 deuce.
Distribute 6-3.
So here's the chip stack. Allen, they took a little bit of a bite out of him, but a little less than half the chips on the table now, but everyone else still in the danger zone. Hand 119 of our coverage here. Allen's under the gun with ace-10 suited. Allen makes it 60K. JD lets go of his big blind.
Well, the problem is if I'm out first, then.
Correct, and it goes back to, I got it in my car. You have $20.
Do I? Yeah, sure.
Could I give it to him so he can go? And then
Oh,
I'll get
yeah,
back? He's been waiting for me to
Oh,
get out.
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
He figures to
Oh,
be
no,
around
I mean,
longer.
here.
Yeah. I'll give it to you when you cash out.
Thank you, Alan.
All right, Rick with just about $500,000 in chips when he sat down to 150, and he throws out a big bet there with a suited king deuce.
Yeah.
$50K to go. Allen's $40K into this, and he has 6-4 off suit. Not very good, but he lays it down. I was about to say he's already $40K in with his chip stack. What's another $30K to see a flop? I might have paid Rick off a little bit there. Might have wanted to see my garbage flop for such a price.
Yeah, I was waiting for I thought it was going out. I kept going all in.
No, I would have given it to him before. I didn't know what was going on.
I'll give it to you when I cash out.
All right, Rick's got an ace, probably the first ace he's seen in a while. And he shoves in for 200K under the gun. Apparently putting their cards in the box is passé because nobody's doing it anymore.
It's not fun anymore. It's not cool. Cool kids ain't doing it anymore, apparently.
So Rick picks up the antes of blinds, starts to gather them in, and again, I'm not sure why he is the big blind. He might as well just leave the pot out there. Except for the small blind, take that in. But leave the rest.
I'll be in Singapore on Friday, okay? Okay, bye.
All in.
And JD's all in with a mystery hand. Looks like it was tens. That was the mystery hand.
Didn't want to see a flop.
Yep, last hand of 10, 20. And next hand, 15, 30, 30.
What?
Yep.
How much?
15, 30, 30.
Oh, I thought you said 50.
No, 15, 15.
Yeah, that's fine. I thought you said 50.
50, 100.
Yeah, that would be good.
50,000,
Well, it's going to be
100,000.
there soon, I guess. Oh, let's see what I got here. It's up to me.
All right, Jack 8 suited for Allen under the gun. He's going to play it. John's right behind him with 9s. Raises it to 120. And John lets it go.
You can't brag about this.
You do come in.
30-30, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was serious before when it was 10,000.
Keeps going up. Ain't gonna go down.
Yeah, it never goes down. It's weird.
It's amazing I'm still here.
We were thinking the same thing.
I was thinking it's about time I made
30,000.
That was a call down there?
Yep.
Oh, he called. All right, go ahead.
Looks like Allen was thinking about a raise momentarily, but decided against it. We don't know what JD has. Shocker. But he checks. Allen's going to throw out a bet. He has the nut flush draw. John also has a flush draw, just slightly below the nuts.
Don't let it happen again.
What do you say?
No.
He said call.
Oh,
He said, yeah. It said string call.
oh, that's what you said. Okay. Good. I check to you.
And river card a 6 of diamonds. King Queen high is going to win this.
Yep.
Neither player takes a stab at it, so
Well, as we know, King High, like on this at this stage,
John.
at this stage of the tournament, two final table, 4 players to go. You know, having King High is a pretty big hand. it's a big hand. You can do a lot of damage in that hand.
If it was so big, why didn't either of them bet it?
Because they're scared. I mean, it is what it is. They're scared.
They were scared?
Scared, squeered, doesn't matter. They were scared to put the money in, and therefore,
As Ice Cube once said, don't be scared.
yeah, he wasn't lying. He was scared.
75K in orbit now. And I still see these same 4 players going orbit after orbit after orbit with the blind levels this high, and the math ain't mathin' anymore.
The math's when it wants to math, I guess. All in for JD though, Ace Jack. John's gonna fold this, of course. He just got those chips. He just got those chips.
Now everybody's in the danger zone.
Yeah. Now it's time.
This is what happens when the play gets tight and the blinds keep rising. It's all like, you know what? Somebody's gonna get blinded out if you guys keep this up.
I'm wondering now if the C word is becoming something to be discussed, because you get to the point.
Well,
now
we don't
where
say the C word on this show.
I didn't say the C word. I just said C word. I didn't say the C word. I just said C word.
But the less we talk about it, the better.
Yeah. I'll let JD again. Ace 10. He sees some blood in the water.
No, he sees I've gone all in like the last 20 times and nobody's called me, so I could probably steal these blinds if I do it now.
Well, just because you put all these in and then you put those
John
in.
with King 7 suited. I don't think that's good enough. I mean, suited is nice four-handed, but enough to call 210K? Nah. 30, 40K, sure, but 210's a touch much.
Does anyone want to chop this? Just chop it even and get out of here?
Even? Yeah.
I mean, I don't care. You know, I mean, nicer.
What are you, hungry? You gotta go home?
I have meetings, but I don't care, you know, whatever.
You guys want to get the numbers for a chip
You wanna
chop?
get a chip chop and see what it is?
No.
Okay, all right. No, I like my way better, but okay. I mean,
No, I'm too low
no,
for a
I'm not
a
talking
chip
about
chop.
you. I'm saying that if we just chopped it, everybody would get the same amount. That's what I said, an even
Well,
chop.
yeah, that I would think.
No, that I said, you know, I
But
thought,
if you
you know,
do it
we
by-
were all here
by
long
chips.
enough, you know. I'm not looking to kill anybody. I mean, that's, okay.
I'm all in.
All in. Call.
Yeah, you had a tremendous stack.
All right, it's an all in and a call. Rick's 10-9 suited against JD's ace-5 off. JD went all in. Rick called for less. And there's a 10. Rick pulls ahead. Turn card is a deuce. 2-pair now. JD needs an ace. Or, well, that's not it. A third deuce. Deuces. Full of 10s for Rick. He will double up off of JD.
'Cause I figured it's what, 22, 36, 46.
No, the button's gonna.
5,000, so that's, you know, 1,700 feet. Yeah, that's not, you know, I'm not looking to kill anybody.
1,700 each.
About 17, I think. 17 times 5, right? Times 4, yeah, so it's 6,000.
How much is
so
in there?
it's a little bit less. Oh, he's out. Okay.
There's
Yeah,
4
so-
players.
Right. So you want to just see what it comes out to? I think it.
You have to wait for him. There's still a player here.
Oh.
He went to the restroom.
Oh. Oh. All right.
Okay,
So let's see.
small and big blind.
Oh, we're not waiting.
Well, I mean, it's you guys can talk about whatever you want
Yeah,
in
yeah,
between
all
the
right.
hands, but
So-
if there's not a player here, there's
So it's
nothing.
30 to me, right?
He's coming right now, so you can talk about it if you want.
Okay. Let's see what the numbers. Do you know what the total is? You know the total price.
What's remaining, you mean?
All right, some discussion going on now.
Yep, I think they're talking about a chop possibly.
Chop chip, it's the only way I go.
Only how?
Really hear what's going on right now
Oh,
in the headset,
chip
but it seems like they're discussing a possible.
Well, if anybody's against that, we could just work the numbers.
52.73.
52.70.
Well, would that mean I'll get more or less?
It's if you guys want, we can see what the numbers are
I'll
for the
get
chip
less,
chop.
you'll get
Then we
more,
would
he'll
just
get
add up what you
more.
have,
So
and
why
then
don't
they'll
you
run
just-
the numbers
why
and
don't
tell
you
you what
just
it
chop
is.
it even? Be done with it. What is the whole
These
thing?
two guys will get more. You and I'll get less.
Why wouldn't you want it? Maybe you don't understand what I said.
A chop chip. You
No,
and will
I
get
didn't
more.
say, I said let's just chop it even
Oh,
4
no, I
ways.
won't do that.
All right, forget it. I'm not
Yeah,
doing
he says
that.
no because he has more chips, but he's saying he'll do the chip chop if
Oh,
you
he's
guys
got
wanted
more
to do that.
Oh,
He has
okay.
more chips than everybody
Oh,
else. That's
all
why
right.
he is.
So he wants to do it based off
Yeah.
his chip
So
total.
how about we split 3 ways and throw him 100 extra?
I'll go with that.
Split it
I'll
4
do it.
ways
So-
and then we'll give him 100 extra.
What do you mean? Are you saying
Yeah.
just one? So he,
Take the amount,
So he'll get 300
5,000.
more. 100, 100, 100. Is that what you're saying? Well-
See what that works out to. What's the total divided by 4?
And what if
Well,
I
it's
give you
50,
drive in my new car
52,
outside too?
13, 18
If we
each.
split even and everybody gives me 100. That's
Yeah.
what I just
So
heard.
everybody
Okay,
gets
so
Alright,
we
so
each
let's
get
see what the
12.
numbers
We
are.
each get 12, he gets 16.
If we each get 12, he gets 50.
I'm good with that.
Somebody give me 100.
16, 18.
How many chips do we have?
I have to count your stacks anyway because we pay
Yeah, that's why I
each
wanted
other.
the numbers.
400,000.
All right. That technical issue I mentioned earlier at the start of the show, we can't really hear what they're talking about at the table. We're not getting any table noise.
So he can tell us what a chip chop is anyway.
well, we're not.
Well, we're not doing
We're
that.
not doing
Oh,
that.
I thought that's what it's
You're
counting.
taking a
Alright,
quarter
the
of the total
366.
less 100.
A quarter
Of the total is 5,000 something.
right.
You get a quarter of that minus 100.
Well, how much is in there? 52. So you take
Right.
3.
Otherwise, we play on. Okay. No, I'll just play on.
What we?
Forget it. I'll just play on.
You don't want to do it for
No, I would
a
have done it
quarter of
fair to
5,000.
everybody. He doesn't want to do that, so screw it.
No, we do. We do want to do it. Everyone agreed to it.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
I
He
said
agreed.
yes.
All right, you guys are not talking about the same thing at all.
No, he
all
didn't
right.
agree to it.
All right, what he agreed to
I said
is
an
taking
even
a-
chop straight aboard.
Minus $100.
No, I said screw it then. Let's play.
no,
Okay.
No, all right.
Okay. You don't want to give him $100.
No, I think it's being a jackass. I can't help it. You know what I mean? You know, what's it for $100 is,
Three.
you know,
He's ahead of you by a little.
Yeah.
Not a lot. What's the chip counts? Just read them out.
441, 366, 316, 177.
you have 300 also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
So let's
50K
play on.
difference.
Maybe he'll go out next.
You guys are an 80.
All right, let's push blinds.
I don't care.
15.
It would have been a great deal for you. I'm sorry.
I know. I would love to get
Yeah, but what, the $100 is gonna make a difference to you instead of just chopping it even?
All right, so whatever deal they were discussing, somebody said no. For those of you that have seen Superman 2, know the rule. The votes must be unanimous, Jor-El. And it was not unanimous. So action at the Action Palace continues.
Yeah, that was just a pack.
All right, so JD with the K9 flops the best of it. He's all in.
He's getting aggressive here. He's trying to chip out some chips back. So he's gone on like 4 times in the last like 5-10 minutes. So
Unfortunately for him, that strategy only works when your opponent has something. And Allen got none of that flop, so. Like, he doesn't necessarily have to have something, but he has to have a monster draw, something lots of outs. He's got to have something to work with. Otherwise, those big bets, they're just going to be folds, and you're going to take down antes and blinds and not an actual pot. Big raise from Rick. Not all in. It looks like to be about 100K. JD shoves with a mystery hand.
How much is he owed me?
So Rick raised to 100K with that Jack-9. He's got to decide if he likes it enough to give the chips he just took from JD back or try to knock him out.
Yep.
And again, JD doesn't put his cards in the box, so we don't know what he has. I mean, he's almost priced in at this point. Jack-9's not all that strong, but heads up, it's not too bad.
Call.
Decides to call. It looks like ace-king. And it is. Rick needs a lot of help if he's going to pull this off. And there's some. Aces, kings, and queens. And turn was 2-pair. So the king doesn't. I almost had king on the river. Whoops, I'm like, because I didn't see the turn, but. So JD eliminated in 4th place. And Ernest, what's that pay?
4th place pays the following: $660.
6 shy of evil.
Down to 3, right?
Well, congratulations to JD for 4th place and $660.
He fought though, I'll tell you that.
Rick has reclaimed the chip lead, but has not escaped the danger zone.
Danger zone.
We're getting down to it now. Allen, There's only the button gets free cards, and Alan decides to use it to shove with pocket eights. Solid hand, but again, doesn't pay if you can't get any action.
No. Well, yeah. Back then, yeah, maybe about that.
Well, you want to split it now with 3? You get more.
Well,
you
we
know.
can't. We have to wait
Yeah.
till
Oh,
between
right, yeah,
hands, so
okay,
we're gonna
yeah,
have to play this
yeah.
one either way.
Folds.
I call.
Rick in the small blind with Jack 10 decides just to limp this time. I hate limping in almost all its forms, but we'll actually get to see a flop this time. Alan never put his cards in the box. He just kind of left them there, so we don't know what's going on with his hand.
Yeah. You want to guess what he has?
I mean, he just peeked at it, but he's bluffed with air so often, it's really hard to put him on a hand.
Oh, thanks.
That's how precarious the chip lead is. After that, Rick is still in the lead, but only just. Alan's right there nipping at his heels.
You know, it's funny. I played in a tournament where I said, let's everyone split even.
I got you 15.
We all would have gotten 2,700, right? The next guy out was getting 800. One guy would not agree to it.
Yeah, no, he wants
No,
to play.
he wouldn't agree to it, and he was
could
the.
get more, so.
Yeah, all right. You know, everybody has different ideas.
It's okay.
And Rick don't like that free hand he got. 6-5 offsuit, yeah. I wouldn't like it much either. Heads up at 3-handed in a tournament. Any ace is massive. So Alan going right after him with his ace-7.
80,000.
John decides 8 deuce in the big blind is bleh. Oh, the piano move again. John goes all in. Rick snap calls. John had queen 3 suited. Rick's got queens.
I just waited you out. You're making the same move over and over. I had 10-2.
Into the flop we go. The case queen is there. Rick needs, or John needs runners, and those aren't runners. He needed running clubs. He didn't get it. John eliminated in third place. Third place. What's that pay, Ernest, for John?
Third place is 932.
Fantastic.
All right. And there were 2.
Probably more.
I think right now they're discussing a possible something. I see him talking here.
Yeah, he would have got more.
Let's see what
But he
happens here. We can't really hear what's going on, but you guys probably could.
Big blind 30 and
We'll see. Maybe we're going to put the blinds here in the meantime until we get a decision on that.
Split it? Well, I don't
They
know.
are talking about it.
Oh, you have a lot of chips.
Yeah,
So my producer just sent me something here, and I think they did make a deal, or going to make a deal. And the deal is as follows, I think. Let me see if this is right.
9,000?
They're counting chips now.
800
Yeah.
and change.
So what is it? It's 14, 15.
1406. I'll give you 150.
So 1556. 21.
Good.
All right, make it 16.
Hello.
16, right? Yeah. All right, 14,
16.
So 16, and you get the rest.
He did Superman again. Change morph back into super dealer.
All right. So, because we're in a time delay, we have some information from the future.
Yeah, so first place here looks like seat 4, which is, what's his name again on seat 4?
Rick.
Rick? Yeah,
Spickle Rick!
He's going to make 2,080 on this one, and then Alan will do 1,600.
Okay, so the gentleman agreed to chop Rick with the bigger chip stack, gave up about a little less than $200 just to call it a day.
And 600 for Alan.
And
So-
that extra 200 went to Alan, so he gets 1,600, and that's going to do it for us from the Action Palace at
Yeah.
PBKC.
A lot of fun.
Congratulations to Alan and Rick, and there is no chopping of the player points. I don't know if Rick's interested in that. He will get first place points for sure,
Yeah.
and Alan will get second place points. And that's going to do it for us. Make sure to hit the like, follow, and subscribe buttons, and be sure to tune in tomorrow for our $150 Omaha deep stack.
Mhm.
Tomorrow. Who's on that? Who's on that
I
crew?
have no idea.
I know I'm not.
Neither am I.
But tune in anyway because it's always a great show. Pretty sure Brooklyn B-Man's going to be on that one.
Okay.
So until then, I'm Matt F. with Ernest.
Christian?
Oh, okay.
Speaking, whatever
Well, why
you
you bringing religion into it?
I don't know.
No, I'm just kidding. But Ernest Christian. Okay, shout out to our production crew, which was
Mike.
Brent, Mike, and Gene. Yes, good job by them, by always. And so until then, have a good night from